someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
You've been wearing that thin, raggedy t-shirt for years now, and people cannot stop whispering and staring in your vicinity. We've all been there. Luckily, there's a solution to your lack of fashion and social cues. At nextround.store, they have plenty of options when it comes to a variety of shirts and hats. Once you start putting that Next Round gear on, be prepared to make new lifelong friends and hundreds of unforgettable conversations. Hope you like random high fives in the street, because that's what you're getting after visiting nextround.store.
There's a key that I cannot find to you, once unlocked but only open to a few. On a swing but now forever in postpone. Need a push but you only knew to pull. You always fade. Well, you should have stayed. It's the light of day we almost fade. To be lost is only finding somewhere new, setting forth on anything that you cling to. Maybe one day we'll have time to meet again. Trust in me because I do not trust you. Another day here, I'm not afraid. And you know we'll be found to believe the soul is all around. Is the light of day we all must fade.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Little Rockstar music getting us into the live show now on a Tuesday, an Upset Alert Tuesday. More on that coming up a little bit later on as football season, a full weekend, gets a little bit closer. Cut day in the NFL, we'll talk about that later on. Some major injuries in college football to get to that could impact this upcoming weekend. At some point before the season starts, I threw my 12-team playoffs out officially. We'll get these guys to do it later in the week before we get there. Pick 3 coming back on Friday. Looking forward to that, all the stuff. Payton Thorne, Auburn quarterback, joins the show, part of our NIL deal with him in the very next segment. We had Tyler Booker yesterday. PT. Anybody call him PT?
I doubt it.
PT.
I can't swear they don't.
I've never heard it.
Nope, I've never heard PT.
I'm a Southerner. I don't say Peyton the way people around the country say it. It's Peyton is the way Emily Grace will say it. They enunciate everything. I'm a Peyton guy. Peyton guy. So we'll talk to Payton Thorne, Auburn's quarterback. He's QB1 from down at Auburn coming up in the next segment. Clay Travis, Upset Alert at 10:25. Today, you guys have your drawings already done?
Yes, sir. I am ready, man. I got in here prepared.
I figured yours was done considering we got a text early this morning.
That's right.
Yeah.
Reminder.
You know, I'm up early. Brown, you don't have your UPS uniform on today. LT and I, during the Earth Tones.
What can y'all do for me? What can y'all do for me?
We're going to kick your butt this year is what we're going to do.
Not my butt.
I like Brown's first out of the gate.
Oh, yeah. LT already knows where I'm going. Yeah. Where the Brown Bandit's going. It's not me. It's the Brown Bandit.
Yeah. We're taking you down this year.
I hear he's fired up today, too. Y'all need to buckle up.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he's coming in with some heat because he had a big week 1. Or week 0, actually, his first week.
Yeah, I heard you say that last night.
Yeah,
I heard you say that last night at the Selma Quarterback Club.
Yeah.
Thanks to those folks for having us down for a third time. We've told you stories before how when we go to the Selma Quarterback Club, we're about as bad as we could be. Until last night, I thought we had a good outing.
Yeah. I mean, we just kind of did our typical format that we're doing right here.
Yeah, we tried
Emily Grace and Taylor Korn.
We tried a lot of different things. Yeah, that certainly helps. And finally, I think it was Lance's idea. Who said, why don't we just do what we do best? Let's just do a show down there.
Yeah, let's all mic up and just talk.
And then the Selma Quarterback Club is like, well, can we stream it live? We're like, of course you can.
Yeah.
So we put it up on our stream with the Selma Quarterback Club there, so you guys could watch it last night. You can go back and watch it on YouTube if you want.
Yeah, awesome people, man.
Yeah, I mean,
hospitality's great.
Yep.
Always send us home with a gift basket. Always feed us well.
Yeah. Hey, can
By the way, if your quarterback club schedule is not complete,
I'll go get it.
You want me to go get it?
I'll get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do a commercial
We need
for
to cut it up anyway.
He's going to go get it because it's so heavy I can't bring it in.
You know Jim can't get it.
Yes. I mean, the Selma Quarterback Club sent us. I mean, it's the first thing Tyler asked when you got here. Tyler walks in the door at 7:58 today. And what do you say, Tyler?
I said, Jim, do you know who brought that gift basket?
I said, I do. It was the Selma Quarterback Club.
It's not a gift basket, a gift crate.
It's a crate.
It is a
real
crate of gifts.
Real
and
wood.
They're really nice people. Again, if your quarterback club schedule is not complete, we'll come speak at your quarterback club. You want to see what we do, just go right there on our YouTube channel and see.
So we brought Emily Grace and Taylor last night down there and had a great time. So thank you so much to the Selma Quarterback Club. LT took a left with the guest basket.
We had to get the scissors to open it, I think.
You took a left. You forgot your water. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm out here filling time. No.
Brody is right. Tough week down there in Selma, and that came up last night. They dedicated their entire season of the quarterback club to the young man that passed away. I had a moment of silence and a prayer for his family before we got started.
And they're doing a lot of great things for the young people of Selma.
That's right.
And there's the gift basket from, it looks to be Mark Smart down there.
So we've got
local honey,
Southern Ambrosia honey, pure and raw.
Yeah, I'll take one of those.
All right.
You know, I've always heard, and I've got allergies. And my allergies, I actually took a Zyrtec today.
Yeah, local honey.
Yeah,
I've heard local honey really works.
A spoonful a day, man.
This
Makes
is
sense.
Hancock's Country Barbecue Sauce. Hancock's is a barbecue joint down there in Selma who fed us last night. Their
Oh,
barbecue
my
is
goodness.
terrific.
I needed to go out and get some of this, though, because, you know, on the chopped pork, I didn't really have any sauce. I don't know if you guys did or
Not as
didn't.
much as I wanted, but I
Yeah.
hated to ask.
You guys,
I've used this before for
you
my
guys
previous
missed.
visits.
It's a little earmuff situation for the kids if they're in the car, you're riding to school, or they're out of school here. But So I walked up to the lady because we had some unbelievable cheesecake from a bakery over in Mississippi that they serve at Hancock's. And the lady that was serving us, that seemed to be the boss, I thought, I just said, "Hey, Mrs. Hancock," just thinking she would turn around. And I said, "Your name's probably not Hancock, but I just didn't know your name. I need 3 silverwares for the ride back. We're going to eat our cheesecake in the car." And she goes,
Did you know they were eating cheesecake in your car?
In my car, yes.
she was like, "My name actually is Hancock." And I think my husband has already taken the silverware out to the truck. And I went out there and I said, "So you're Mr. Hancock?" He goes, "Actually, I'm Mr. Small, but we did get married in a very small cock wedding." And that was the husband-wife joke there. And
the old Jay Leno bit.
They showed us the invitation,
yeah.
And that was the wedding invitation they sent out.
Yeah.
It was an amazing line from that lady.
Yeah.
So they hold that handy.
They do.
It is a good punchline, a great billboard.
Hey,
down
the
there.
other thing we got is some seasoning, including a lot. If you've grilled, this is called gunpowder.
I don't know which one I that makes me just get on my edge of my seat more, golf geek brownie or grilling brownie. Man, you really get into this grilling. That's the first thing he said.
Don't double back.
This barbecue sauce is it's really good stuff.
Really good. I've
stuff.
used it.
And now you found out what's in the box, and
that's right.
The gunpowder is the best seasoning out
there. It's not the best. I mean, seasoning depends on taste, but we got some garlic seasoning and some Cajun seasoning. But this gunpowder is very, very famous, and it's made down in Selma. Southern flavor, but most people just call this gunpowder. It's charbroil seasoning. A lot of people use it on steaks. You might want to try it on your steaks.
We got a similar basket the last time we were in Selma, which I think was 3 years ago.
Yep, and cheese straws.
Cheese straws.
From Joyce's Cheese Straws down in Selma. Boy, they got a lot of stuff down in Selma.
Yeah, they do.
Good people, man. Good people.
They did say it was all local, so that's really cool.
Tough times. Local. So say a prayer for that community. They are going through a lot of difficult times, and the quarterback club's trying to help out.
Yeah,
and, Chief of Police was there last night, and he's a great guy.
Tragic story. And, I didn't get all the details. Had a conversation with a couple of members at the Selma quarterback club, and I don't know. I mean, obviously an awful situation, but just kind of a flukish situation.
Yeah, young man just playing the game he loves, and then a day later in the hospital and unfortunately passes away. So keep that family in your prayers. Tough time for them, obviously.
We will get to everything we have happening here on the show today, including Payton Thorne coming up in the very next segment. We talked last night about some possible big games this weekend in the SEC. I mean, the biggest games of the weekend have SEC flavor in them. Miami and Florida, obviously Texas A&M and Notre Dame, Georgia and Clemson. There is some interesting news from Georgia that we'll get to right after LT tells us about our fine friends at New York Butcher Shop. Tell us about New York Butcher.
New York Butcher Shop, great place. Talking about local. If you want to put something together, Birmingham-wise, one of these baskets, you can do it from our friend Jim. The New York Butcher Shop original location right there in Cahaba Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone, the newest location. Fresh meat, specialty items, deli sandwiches, great for lunch or dinner to go. They've also got the prepared sides ready to roll as well with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, rare quality, well-done service. It's the New York Butcher Shop.
First, let's hear from Carson Beck, and we'll talk about what's happening with this Georgia offense going in against Clemson, whose defense should be able to at least be in the same neighborhood as the Georgia Bulldogs going into the season. Here's Carson Beck, now the seasoned veteran, some people's projected #1 overall NFL draft pick, the betting favorite for the Heisman for some people, not all people. Dylan Gabriel's out there. But Carson Beck's got a lot of accolades, and he goes into the season with a year under his belt.
Yeah, Carson, at this time last year, you were entering your first game week as the starter. Just how different do you feel right now knowing you've got all these starts, all these games under your belt? You're ready to, I guess, hit the ground running from game one.
Yeah, it's very different. I think maybe like some of the nerves that I had last year going into week one aren't present. I'm very anxious to get out on the field. I'm very excited. I have a lot of energy, heading into that, week one, considering we haven't played in so long. Seeing the difference from game one to, game 14 last year, I'm excited to, see what the jump is going to be from game 15 to however many games that, we end up playing this season.
He was quietly really good last year, and I think we have been lulled to sleep from Stetson Bennett now to Carson Beck. Carson Beck is going to have to, with their schedule this year, win some games for them.
Interesting.
They haven't had a quarterback have to do that. As good as Stetson Bennett was in the past, you've had so many weapons, and now you're talking about, the report is Georgia is missing a couple of running backs due to injury.
Well, that's what I want to get to. Trevor Etienne could be missing.
He's going to play
this game. No, Kirby said yesterday he gave the standard Saban line that Saban always gave when the player didn't play. I don't talk about discipline inside that we handle inside the program, but I'm excited about the players that are going to play.
Well, based on the charges in March with the DUI, he has to miss 10% of the season, so he's got to at least miss one game. But it doesn't disclose which game you've got to miss.
So it doesn't out and out say it's got to be the first game after the charges.
And if you're Kirby,
where is that rule written?
I've seen the rule.
I don't think it's a rule.
Oh, it is a rule.
Okay.
It's a Georgia rule.
It's a Georgia rule.
University rule.
It's a university rule.
Yeah.
Well, remember, it got pled down to where it wasn't technically a DUI. It leaves some wiggle room there. He made a deal with prosecutors and still had reckless driving, everything but a DUI in that, tinted windows, and has to do some classes and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I don't
here
think
it is.
he plays.
Under Georgia, so Etienne received 12 months probation, was fined $852, ordered to complete a substance abuse evaluation, 40 hours of community service, alcohol risk reduction program. Under Georgia Athletic Department policy, Etienne would have to miss 10% of the Bulldog season, at least one game.
Yep.
Well,
it said if he'd been found guilty of DUI. Unclear whether the plea agreement changes that.
Yeah. 100% it changes that.
Yeah, as Volfan 205 says, if this is Mike Gundy, he'd give him 50 carries, right? That's his punishment.
That's his punishment.
50 carries.
I mean, that's what Ollie Gordon's going to do in the first game.
That's what Mike Gundy said.
Let's say the plea agreement doesn't change it. This is the game. I mean, it's not going to be a great look for Kirby, but if you want to win a game against a really good Clemson defense, you need Etienne.
I don't think he plays.
I think he plays.
I don't think he plays. And I don't think he plays because, everything that's gone off the field with Kirby and the Georgia program and driving. But also, I think when you look at the season as a whole, and not that it's a free pass situation, but the path to automatic bid to the playoffs doesn't involve Clemson for Georgia. And just historically, I look back, I mean, how many of these opening games that you would get there for Nick Saban, and you would look out on the field and there'd be guys not playing because of this or that in the offseason. It was always in the first game. It was against the Clemsons and the Virginia Techs and the West Virginias of the world over in Atlanta so many times.
I just don't remember Alabama outside of the Florida State game where Francois got hurt. DeAndre Francois got hurt early. Alabama playing one of those games where you're like, damn, they could lose. And I'm not saying that Georgia could lose this game.
This is a great helmet game, great prestige, but this looks a lot like Alabama playing USC or Alabama playing Wisconsin.
I remember the Alabama, was it Virginia Tech or West Virginia, where it was tied at halftime? I want to say it was Blake Sims' first start, I think.
Well, that would have been West Virginia.
Yeah, and you were like, whew. But then, of course, second half, they imposed their will and game over. But I want to say it was like a tie game or a 3-point game at the half, maybe?
Yeah, because the West Virginia quarterback, coach's
was it Will
son.
Greer?
No. Coach's son that worked at the community college with our buddy Brittany Wagner for a little bit.
Oh, gosh almighty.
Trickett.
Yeah.
Clint Trickett,
yeah.
Yeah, and Clint Trickett had a hell of a game in the first half, and I remember that's what kept him so close.
Yeah, and Blake overthrew a lot of open receivers.
Yeah, with all this said, so Branson Robinson would be the guy getting the majority of the carries. You've got a walk-on and another freshman that would get all of the touches. Now, if Kirby believes they can win it like that, we'll know. Like, if Etienne plays, will you guys give me this? Then Kirby's a little more concerned with this game.
Yeah.
If Etienne doesn't play, that's one of those wait till game time. Etienne doesn't play, lay the 14 and a half.
That's one of those where during game day, they'll show Georgia warming up and then they'll cut to Etienne in street clothes in his whatever.
But anyway, my whole point was going to be, before you get to yours, I really believe with some of the losses, Brock Bowers, Ladd McConkey, those were big play guys.
And Robert Thomas.
And Robert Thomas, although we didn't get to see him as a Georgia Bulldog, I do believe that Carson Beck is going to have to win some games when you have to go to Texas. You got to go to Tuscaloosa. You got to go to Oxford. He is going to have to win some games for them this year.
Roderick Robinson, who I think would be next in line behind Trevor Etienne, turf toe, a little surgery there. Branson Robinson is the guy who had 300 yards in 2022, missed all of 2023 with a patella tendon tear. He is back. He may be the guy that gets the brunt of the carries. They're already looking for weapons. Got a great offensive line, so maybe anybody can run the football. But that Clemson defense, They're not my upset alert. I don't think there anybody else's in here.
Well,
Clemson.
you wanted to go.
I wanted to go Clemson here.
But he has said it all morning in this studio. It's like, Brown, I'm going to regret not going Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, I like Clemson too. It's an 11 o'clock game. I don't really like 11 o'clock games.
13.5 is a lot. But the one I love the most, the under.
Take the under. What's the total?
I don't even know.
So would you guys?
You know you like it if you don't know what it is.
37.5. I'd still take the under.
Give me what you think it is.
I think it's probably 42.5.
48.5.
Oh my gosh!
So you really like it now?
It's free money. Everybody take 5 minutes and go to mybookie.ag, promo code next round, and play the under.
So Clemson's a 13-point dog, and the under is 48.5.
I've done this long enough now. Because as soon as I say that, I see Lunceford look down at his computer and start typing. So I guarantee you, Lunceford right now has placed a bet, the over in the Georgia-Clemson game.
He says that's not what he's doing.
Oh, it's not what he's doing.
So if you guys, we know that
this was Lunceford in the back. You can't see him. He was like,
I mean, I think I already know the answer. But with Carson Beck in this offensive line, you've got borderline elite quarterback, borderline elite offensive line. Would you rather have that combination or elite receivers, elite running backs?
So what's my first combo? Line and back or
line and quarterback?
Line and quarterback. I'd rather have elite line and quarterback.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah,
I always want elite quarterback, and whatever the combo is that gets me elite quarterback is what I'm going to take. But if I've got elite line in college football, this may not be true of the NFL, but in college football, if I've got an elite line, I don't have to be spectacular at running back.
Yeah, if you watch the Georgia Tech game, not to take anything away from the running back, but Georgia Tech offensive line may have been the best unit in that game.
Well, their head coach is a pretty good offensive line coach. So, that's a thing he's committed his life to. So I'm not entirely surprised, but you're right.
Yeah. 32 Rick Ross, landmine bet the over right there on that game. Go ahead. I told the Selma Quarterback Club that is easy money to play against me this year. I feel a bad moon rising, my friends.
Did you have a good year last year? Are you coming off a good year?
I think I did.
Okay.
Relatively speaking, I won some money at mybookie.ag, kept afloat, and did okay on some stake bets along the way.
Okay.
I mean, I did okay last year.
Good.
Relatively, I mean, gauging by what my usual success, but I'm off to a perfect 0-2 start right now, so it can only go worse. It can only go worse. One more thing on Clemson after I tell you about Storm Restoration Roofing. That's our buddy Greg from Pell City, owned by our friend Greg. He and his wife Andrea run the company. You'll see a picture of her in a second up there on the screen. She's the beauty in the picture. 20 years locally owned, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, trusted by insurance agents. Free no-cost roof inspection. That's what Greg has built his business on. Free, no cost, no obligation roof inspection. Greg or his crew gets up there, inspects the roof. One loose shingle can be a problem. He gets up there, see what's going on. Sometimes he sort of does a little repair for you up there and comes down and says, hey, I put a shingle back in place, or maybe I did this or that. No charge. Your roof's good. We're good. If you ever need something, give me a call back. He'll handle storm repairs, roof replacements, and anything. 205-542-3531. 205-542-3531. Or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. Forrester, can I get Forrester's mic? And I may need Lunceford's mic too. Brownie may know the answer to this.
Just turn on all the mics, we'll say.
The kid from Briarwood that's at Clemson, the quarterback, y'all know his name on the back row?
Christopher Vizina.
Yeah, Vizina. There are some Clemson folks who are saying you may see the Briarwood product in the game against the Georgia Bulldogs.
Oof.
And maybe before it's out of hand, and not just in mop-up duty.
Like to replace Klubnik or as a special package?
If Klubnik comes out and is having his...
You mean if he's carried off?
No, I mean, there's been some talk about, he's had some turnover issues, and he's had some slow to read issues, so where he takes a sack.
Boy, I will it's a disaster season if they get run off the field and they're already bringing in a second quarterback.
I mean, he's already not taking phone calls at his coach's show. If he changes quarterbacks in a game.
Yeah, and that's a bad sign right now. I mean, you love Clemson. Dabo's not taking calls anymore. Trevor Etienne might not play.
Lunceford watches more high school football for us. Was that kid pretty good at Briarwood, Lunceford? He was good, right?
Got a scholarship to Clemson.
I mean, I thought he was good. I don't know if I'd put him in this game. He played 2 games last year and didn't throw a pass, I don't think. So
yeah.
Hey, Lunceford, didn't the Spain Park quarterback just commit to Clemson too?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Dabo loves getting these Birmingham kids, doesn't he?
Well, he's in town seeing mom.
Yes, there's nothing.
Nobody from Pelham, but yeah, all these other schools.
I know. There is nothing Dabo loves more than getting a kid out of Birmingham.
Is he in on Seaborn?
He will be if he's not already.
So. He's in Birmingham, isn't he?
The Thompson 10th grader, I mean, there's no way he plays 2 more years, right? He's going to reclassify after 1 more year?
I don't know. I think he needs to play it out.
Play it out?
Yeah.
Says the analyst of the Thompson Network.
Well,
let's roll 2 more years.
I mean, it's a size thing probably more than anything.
Yeah. 3 more years. He's got this year and 2 more years of high school. That kid's waiting. All right. A little Clemson, Georgia talk there to get us going. We've got our upset alert, but Payton Thorne on the other side will talk to the Auburn quarterback about what the Auburn Tigers are looking at as they head into the season. Brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. UCA, with over 35 urologists on hand, they'll take care of all your medical needs. 16 locations across Alabama. Find one near you right there at urologycentersalabama.com. They got all your urological needs in check. Prostate health, the kidney stones, they'll take care of the vasectomy or anything else you need. UrologyCentersAlabama.com or 205-930-0920. When we come back, Payton Thorne, Auburn Tiger quarterback, right here on TNR.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or Michelson. LaserVision.com.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. It's a high-octane weekend you won't want to miss. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari battling it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, kids zone, and don't forget to bring your dog for bark at the park on Saturday. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of The Next Round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Payton Thorne joins us momentarily to talk Auburn football. This segment being brought to you in part by our friends at Hydrolive.
Need to make sure that you are properly hydrated. Our friends at HydroLive, they can take care of that. 2 locations in Birmingham, the original in Homewood, Highway 119 in Greystone, also a Tuscaloosa location. Very important when you mention the next round, 20% off all the great services, including IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy. It's all under one roof. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost that immune system, and much more. Members rewarded with deep discounts. Basically recoup that IV membership fee in just one visit. Make sure you ask about that. Stop in today. They're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. For more information, hydrolivetherapy.com.
All right, Payton Thorne is standing by, Tyler. If you'll pop him up there real quick, we'll bring in the Auburn quarterback, Brownie. Excited to see Payton every week here on this platform and talk to him about what's going on inside the complex down at Auburn.
Yeah, he's going to join us every Tuesday at this time for coverage of all things Auburn. Don't forget our website, thebarnauburn.com. Thebarnauburn.com. Great content there every single day, including message boards where you get some breaking news, depth chart projections, recruiting news, things like that. Thebarnauburn.com. Go sign up today for just $1 for the first month. Thebarnauburn.com. All right, Payton Thorne is the starting quarterback for the Auburn Tigers. As I mentioned, will join us at this time each week. Welcome in, Payton. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you guys?
Man, we're doing awesome. Thanks a lot. How excited are you for another year of college football? One more year in the Hugh Freeze system. I'm presuming a little more comfortable, and got some new weapons too.
Absolutely. I'm really excited. Every time football season rolls around, obviously there's excitement around just about every program and just the sport in general. So you got that natural excitement, and then also, like you said, with Coach Freeze for another year. Got a lot of new players as well, new coaches, and there's a lot of excitement around the building right now.
We spoke to a group last night, and they, one of the questions was, how good can this Auburn team geek? Can it be one of the sneaky good teams? And I brought up, and I don't know if you remember this, we came to your facilities back in March, and I referenced TCU from 2 years ago. And out of nowhere, in Sonny Dykes' first year, they make a run. They play for the national championship. And when I brought that up, you said that internally you guys have had some conversations about this could be a TCU-like year.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of different guys on our team, and with the transfer portal, you have guys that have played in different programs. So talking with those guys that have had surprise seasons that, people weren't expecting, obviously, and have won a bunch of games, me being one of those guys, we've talked amongst each other and talked with the team that, we have the capability of doing that. And, obviously it's not easy, and it's not something that just happens. You have to put the work in, and you have to have the right pieces come together. But, we've talked about that as a team and as a unit as well. And it's definitely something to look back on and to, have in the back of your mind.
The voice is cleaning up a little bit. It started off a little scratchy. I was wondering, do you ever get hoarse when you're Blue 32 doing that screaming like that? Does it take a while to get into midseason form with the vocal cords too?
A little bit. I remember there's been a couple of times in my career where we were playing at obviously some loud environments, and so during practice you hype up the noise in the indoor. And there was a couple of times I got to Friday and I'd been yelling all week. I'm like, hey guys, we might need to tone this back. I'm losing my voice before the game on Saturday. So there's definitely some of that. You got to have voice or vocal maintenance.
Payton Thorne with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Don't forget thebarnauburn.com for all your Auburn football and sports coverage. I mentioned those receivers, and Auburn fans are excited about this new group of receivers that you will be throwing to. In fact, I can't remember a time when Auburn fans have been so optimistic about receivers. What has it been like for the newcomers like the Perry Thompson and Cam Coleman, all these new guys you've never played with over the summer, trying to develop some chemistry with them? What has that process been like?
It's been great. Obviously, guys came in at different times. So you guys like Cam, Robert Lewis, Sam Jackson, and Bryce were all here in the winter. So you got that extra time in the winter, and then spring ball as well. And then guys like Perry, Malcolm, and Keandre, they came in the summer. And so, you work with those guys throughout the whole year. And obviously a guy like Dre, you try to get him in the summer and throw as much as you can. And I think we've done that, and we're feeling good about where we're at. Obviously, it's going to keep growing as time goes on. But like I said before, it's really exciting right now, and it's fun playing with those guys. They're making plays and working hard while they're doing it. So that's the thing I'm most excited about, is we got a bunch of guys that work. And so they're not afraid to work hard, and that's what they do on a day-to-day basis.
So what has Ken Austin done for your growth and progression?
He's been great. He's one of the key reasons why I decided to come to Auburn, 16 months ago or so. And, it's been great. Obviously, I have a good relationship with him, have built a relationship over the past year with him. Know about his family. Obviously, he knows about mine. And, it's fun. It's fun getting in that meeting room and listening to him. And we're on the same page on most things. And I've learned a lot from him. And also just comparing and contrasting my former experiences with obviously his years and years and years of experience. And so, just soaking it all in from him and finding different ways to read things a tad bit faster or look here for this tell here or there. And so it's been really good, and I'm excited to keep rolling with him.
Not that last year's team wasn't well built chemistry-wise, but we've seen you at a place like Talladega with a bunch of guys, and when we were down in March in the facility, it seemed like the guys were all really close. Do you feel like, as the leader, one of the leaders of this team, that there is a good chemistry in the locker room? Because I've heard Coach Freeze talk about this already, that it just seems like everybody loves each other a little bit more this year.
Absolutely. There's no question about that. You can feel it in the locker room, like you said. We spent more time with each other this year, for sure, just doing things outside of football. And then also, year two of Coach Freeze, he's got more of his guys that are his quality of guy in the building now. And some of the guys that maybe didn't fit in or were uncomfortable in, Coach Freeze's system or around guys like that have left. And I'm not saying all the guys were like that left, but you kind of, as year two forms, you get more of the mold of what Coach Freeze is looking for. The recruiting class he brought in is his kind of guys. And so when you have more like-minded guys, you're gonna have more chemistry. That's pretty much anywhere in life. And so when you got guys that think the same and they work hard and value the same things, you're gonna enjoy spending more time with each other. So I'd say that's a big reason for that.
Auburn starting quarterback Payton Thorne for a few more moments on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. This in-helmet communication was discussed by your head coach with us at SEC Media Days, and he talked as if, or really said, you guys had really little to no opportunity to even test it up until fall camp. So how has it gone for you? How comfortable are you with Hugh Freeze or Ken Austin or whoever is the voice in your head calling in these plays? Who is that voice, and how comfortable are you with the whole process right now?
Yeah, I've been listening to Coach Freeze. It's been an adjustment for sure. Obviously, he's never used it, not being in the NFL at all in his coaching past. And then obviously I've never used it either because you don't use it in high school or in college until this year. So it's been interesting. I like it a lot, honestly. You're not sure because most teams are no huddle in college. And so everyone's been like, well, what's kind of the point? You still have to signal the receivers. But, for me, hearing the play, it gives me an extra few seconds to not be looking at the signaler and be looking at the defense. So I love it. It's definitely going to be a process just as everything else is as you get into the season. It's going to be our first time using it at home. It's going to be our first time using it on the road. It's going to be our first time using it with a lot of crowd noise. All that stuff will be a first. So we're trying to emulate as many of those things as we can in practice, and then also try to figure out what's wrong with the thing. Like, it might go out at some point. Okay, what are we doing then? You got to switch helmets and get one that works. All that's different stuff. So I've liked it so far. I think it definitely has a benefit for college football, and it's just coaches got to get used to it. I got to get used to it, and I'm sure by the end of the season it'll be second nature.
All right, so let's say play clock hits 15. You don't have the full play yet, and timeouts are at a premium. You don't want to burn a timeout. What do you do? Do you have the liberty to call a play that you think will work? I mean, what is the process there? Because now the clock's ticking down.
Yeah, that's actually happened a couple times in practice where, maybe the play clock's running down and I've just had to call a play. And so call a play, get them lined up as fast as we can and then roll. Like you say, you're not trying to waste a timeout in early third quarter or something like that. So just call a safe play that should work against just about anything they give to us. If I see something, if they're bringing a pressure or something, I'll get us to that certain play that we want to get to that week and just try to, gain 2 or 3 and eliminate a penalty and sitting at 2nd and 15 and be at 3rd and 8 or not, or 7 or 8. And that's a lot better situation.
Dunaway mentioned back in the spring we saw you and your boys out at Talladega. What else did you do in the offseason to kind of decompress, get away from football?
Yeah, we get kind of the month off in May, and I took that to I took a little trip, about a 10-day trip myself, and actually went out to California, hung out in the desert for a few days, and then drove to Arizona. I'd never been to Arizona, so I want to check that out. I was in the desert a little bit more there, and I actually flew to Montana, and my dad joined me out in Montana, and I'd never been up there either. I've been a beach guy for most of my life, and I want to check out more of the country because I want to travel the world and see as much as I can in my lifetime. And so my thought process is let me check off as much of the United States as I can before I go out of the country. And I was waiting on my passport too, so I couldn't go out of the country. So I checked out some of that. I will say in Montana, we were up in Glacier National Park, and that was maybe the coolest thing I've ever seen. It was just unbelievable seeing the different mountains and lakes and all that, and hiking with the bears and whatnot. So that was a lot of fun, and did that. And then obviously spent some time on the golf course as well over the summer with the guys, and just messing around out there and having a good time.
Not to get too invasive, but back to you said you spent time in the desert. A lot of people go out there and they try to find themselves spiritually. They detach from society. They turn off all their phones and electronics, all that kind of stuff. Was that the kind of journey you were on, or was it something different?
Not quite. It was not the full blown isolation or anything like that. But I was out there, and there's not much to do out there. I got an Airbnb pretty much in the middle of nothing. I mean, it was a dirt road, gravel road, for 2 miles to get to the house, and so it was a really cool place that I stayed, and something I would definitely do again. And then just out there relaxing, reading, doing some writing, and just kind of spending some time by yourself. It's something I've never done before, but one of my close friends has done it a few times and said how awesome it was. So I went and checked it out, and it was a good time. It was fun.
Sounds remarkable, actually, being by yourself out in the desert.
Yeah. I love Sedona, but my wife was with me. It was 25th anniversary, so it was not technically by myself. But after 25 years, we still had just very little, not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it was still good. Still good. So do you walk past the white jerseys ever and say, man, I can't wait to wear you in October? Do you like the schedule where it's nothing but the blue jerseys to start off with? 5 home games? Do you like that schedule?
Absolutely. It's fun. Anytime we play in front of our fans, it's a great opportunity. So it'll be fun to be at home for the first 5. I've never experienced that yet in my career, so it'll be new. It's kind of a unique schedule. I think we're 5 home, 3 on the road, like 3 home again or something like that. So it's kind of a schedule of different runs,
Yeah.
And so we need to take care of business at home, defend our place, and put our best foot forward for our fans at home. And I know they're going to have our back and help us out, and then go take a test with the white jerseys on, like you said.
All right, 6:30, Jordan-Hare Stadium, Alabama A&M in town to take on the Auburn Tigers Saturday night. I know everybody's excited to have football back at Jordan-Hare. You included, Payton. Thank you very much for the time. We'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. Sounds good.
Take care. Payton Thorne with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. He'll join us every single Tuesday at 9:25. As a reminder, you can get everything about that, practices, the game, basketball, whatever, is at Auburn. You get it at thebarnauburn.com. Thebarnauburn.com. Zach and Kyle and Little T and Brad Law, the entire gang, they're doing a great job at thebarnauburn.com. Go try it out for just $1 in your first month. And if you like what you see, I think you will. Stay tuned right there at thebarnauburn.com.
Inverness Country Club bringing the show, and then I have a thought about what you just heard from Payton Thorne. Tell us about Inverness Country Club, LT.
Yeah, find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. They've got memberships that will fit everyone. If you've been thinking about this, at least visit the club. You're going to be blown away. Call Aaron today, 205-991-8608. Make sure you tell her the next round sent you. Ask for a tour of this unbelievable club. For more information, ICCalabama.com. From the social memberships to the golf membership with the beautiful course, currently expanding the driving range. Maybe you relocated to retired. Inverness is a great place to network. Childcare also a big plus. You and your wife want a day of golf or tennis. Guess what? You can drop the kid, go have yourself a day on the quarter course, dinner with friends, knowing your kid is safe on site. Massive plus. Maybe you work from home. What about working from the club while they watch your kid? Whatever your interests are, you can find it in Inverness. They've even got a vineyard club. The best days happen at Inverness. Again, to take a tour, 205-991-8608. Ask for Aaron. Tell her the next round sent you. And again, ICCalabama.com.
Listen, a lot of people never get to hear from a player, a quarterback. Payton Thorne was in a tough situation last year, not surrounded by as many weapons as he was this year. You get a lot of him in news conference situations, not a lot of interviews like you just saw with him there. And it's easy to form an opinion about who you think he is, or I don't like this quarterback. Why didn't we get another quarterback in the portal? And I know good guys don't always win, but the more we've got to know this guy, and I think some of the reaction coming in the chat room is going to echo this. He has a maturity about him that if he's surrounded by the right people, I think that guy's going to make a lot of good plays this year.
Well,
we've been
around him a couple times one-on-one and interviewed him several times. I have always been impressed by him, Lance. It's not that you leave and you're like, I could see why this kid might have struggled a little bit. Like, you leave and you're very impressed with him.
But in post-game news conference, at times he has come off a little standoffish.
Yeah, why?
Because it's usually it hasn't been after a great situation, and it's post-game. And people are still in a weird situation in post-game, especially after a loss. But the more you get to know this guy, he's got the makeup to be a winning quarterback. I'm not going to go Joe Burrow-esque.
Well, that's what everybody's hoping for, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not going to go Joe Burrow-esque, but he is.
That would be. I'm going to say impossible.
But he's
well, and again,
he's got good football in him.
You brought this up last night. Nick Saban said it on set in Dublin. You shake a tree, receivers fall out at LSU. Auburn did not have a 350-yard receiver last year.
Now, say that again.
Yeah, they did not have a 350-yard receiver last year.
That is so hard.
Rivaldo Fairweather was your leading target with 38 catches, 394 at the tight end position. Now, Lambert Smith comes in from Penn State, Robert Lewis from Georgia State. Those should be instant impact guys. And then Cam Coleman and the rest of the freshmen. You've got better options. Does that equate to a lot more success? It should.
Auburn, again, it's one of the most remarkable stats in college football that Auburn has had 2,000-yard receivers all time. The late, great Terry Beasley and Ronnie Daniels in 99. That was the last one. That is just impossible in college football anymore to not have a 1,000-yard receiver in that amount of time. And I don't know that any of these guys can get to 1,000, not because I think Auburn will struggle, but I think he'll spread the ball around more. I don't know that any of these guys will be focused enough in this offense to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
Okay, let me just paint a picture for you. I'm right about this. They play 8 home games.
I believe that is correct.
Okay. And 2 of their road games are Missouri and Kentucky. Am I right about this?
So far, I'm tracking with you.
You're right. I think I'm right about that.
I remember Matt Jones saying Kentucky. They don't have to be that good to win that game.
So Auburn's really good at Jordan-Hare. They do not play Georgia or Alabama at Jordan-Hare.
Those are both road games. Yep.
Alabama, A&M, California, New Mexico, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Vandy, Louisiana, Monroe, and Texas A&M.
That's your home games.
You win all 8 of those.
We don't even have to be very good to do that. That's what Matt Jones is saying.
Then you go on the road back-to-back weeks, and you can beat Missouri and Kentucky. You don't even have to beat Alabama or Georgia to be in the college football playoffs.
Yeah, your path to 9 wins is a road win at Kentucky and win your home games. Now, that is easier said than done. Oklahoma is an extremely difficult game. So is A&M. So those are tough games.
To have a special season, you've got to start 5-0.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm saying you got 8 winnable games at home, and you can't convince me that Auburn can't go to Missouri and to Kentucky to win those games.
Well, I'm just saying.
So you don't even have to beat Georgia and Alabama to get to the playoffs.
I'm just saying by ranking, if you just win your easiest games by ranking, okay, just simply by where teams are ranked, you've won all your home games, and you've won at Kentucky. That's it. If you just win your easiest, that's 9 wins right there.
Yep.
Now I feel like Matt Jones doing it. They don't even have to be very good to do that.
They don't have to be very good to beat Kentucky.
I feel like I'm Matt Jones, but I mean that's your path to 9 wins if you're Auburn is you win all your home games, easier said than done, and you win at Kentucky. And that is not an impossibility. Now A&M will be tough, Oklahoma will be tough, and winning at Kentucky will be tough. Those are all tough. But it's not an impossibility. And and at that point, if Auburn is 9-3, I think you feel like you've taken a nice step forward.
Yeah, this schedule is it is quirky. It's not fan friendly,
but I think it's better than Auburn normally gets. Auburn has had tough schedules of late,
but it is it's a doable schedule to have a really interesting year if Payton Thorne and the receivers end up being as good as we think they can be. Much more football conversation still to come. Clay Travis, top of the hour upset alert at 10:25, first one of the year as we get going. The show brought to you by Dr. B. The guy's got a little upset going on the far end of the table there as Brownie's hair is starting to come back.
How you feeling?
I'm winning my home games, Lance.
Yeah, how you feeling about it, bro?
I'm feeling great.
Brown's hair doesn't even have to be very good.
I don't have to be very good to win my home games.
Non-invasive treatment. We're both doing it 3 times a week, 30 minutes on the couch. Sit back, watch football while you're doing this. It is so simple. My hair has more than doubled in thickness since I first went to see Dr. Beckenstein and that great staff. Call them today, 205-319-0316. That's 205-319-0316. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. Beckenstein for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316, t3hair.net for more information.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Buying that perfect home is one of the most important financial decisions you'll ever make, so it's crucial that you have the right partner to help you through the process. Hi, I'm Lisa Zeig, Vice President Mortgage Loan Officer for Bryant Bank, and I'm here to tell you that we are that partner, making it easy to buy with confidence. We offer a variety of mortgage products to fit your unique home buying situation. That kind of hassle-free approach might not be what you'd expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give me a call today or visit one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama and let me show you what banking beyond expectation is all about.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by, ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Back with you on the Next Round as we get ready for a little upset alert in just under 30 minutes. Football news yesterday, LT brought this up on the ride down to the Selma Quarterback Club when we got a news alert. CeeDee Lamb becomes another major receiving contract in the offseason, getting him ready for the start of the Cowboys year. 4-year, $136 million extension. That's $34 million per year. Just $1 million behind Justin Jefferson is the top paid. $38 million signing bonus, $100 million guaranteed. Jerry Jones and C.D. Lamb, they got it done.
I just don't know why it took so long. You kind of knew where this market was set. You know, the report was for the last week or so, they were about $1 million apart on each side. You just wonder if there's going to be any resentment from either side. You can't really, from C.D. Lamb's side, he was set to play 2024, the fifth option of his rookie deal for just $18 million. And you see with the $38 million signing bonus, $100 million guaranteed, he is the difference in probably 5 Cowboy wins.
As I told Lance, it's amazing how motivating that first regular season game is to get a deal done, isn't it? Like this drags on and on and on and on, and now everything's done except for that first game.
No, I think he is that important. I mean, when you look outside of C.D. Lamb, I mean, who scares you on that offense? I don't think it's anyone.
Well, the good news is C.D. can afford to upgrade his home now. So
that's good.
Maybe he needed this. He needed this to call Brad Bell. I'm sure Brad would do anything C.D. needs him to do with that kind of signing bonus. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling. That's who redid the home at the Brown House, the master bath at the Brown House, and the master bath in the kitchen for Lance. My wife, when it came time to redo our master bath, she wanted to get it right, as you can imagine, I'm sure. So she scoured the internet looking for the best person for the job. In doing that, she talked to all the contractors she could, people that had used certain contractors, read reviews. We kept coming back to Brad Bell, Brad Bell, Brad Bell. So that's who we hired. I'm glad we did. He didn't come in and say, hey, here's how we're doing it. He came in and said, you tell me what you guys want. We laid it out for him. He did it the way we wanted. Same thing with Lance. Scott showing you before and after photos there. Exactly what we wanted. He specializes in master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closet remodels. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. He can do the same for you. Here's his cell number, 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758. Brad Bell, A+ Tile Home Remodeling.
All right, so we're coming off of the week 0, getting ready for week 1, and there are several reports that have been out there this week that says everyone who runs college football is looking at getting rid of week 0. And they want
after the best one we've ever had?
They're wanting to move up week 1 to that weekend to start a full, week 2 would be Labor Day weekend.
I can handle this.
They're wanting to shift the whole schedule 1 week forward.
Right.
Why would you not?
Making rivalry weekend the week before Thanksgiving and conference championship games Thanksgiving weekend.
Okay, so
which takes away a lot of football, which we've always gotten over an extended holiday weekend. I don't know if I like that or not.
I like rivalry weekend on Thanksgiving. That would be the loss there.
They're trying to move up to have the playoffs be a little earlier, starting in December.
Would you, let me go an A-B sample for you here, okay? Would you, A, rather move everything up where rivalry weekend is the week before Thanksgiving, conference championship weekend is the week of Thanksgiving, or do what Georgia Tech, Florida State, and anybody else that played on week 0 do, start that weekend and have 3 byes. They've got 3 byes.
Yeah.
That extends college football for us. But your favorite team, Alabama, Auburn, Tennessee, whoever's got 3 bye weeks.
I really don't care if they've got 3 bye weeks.
I don't either, Lance, because you know what it does? It gives me 1 more week of football.
Yeah.
What do I care if a team's off 3 times?
Yeah.
I understand the need of starting the playoffs earlier. If you ever notice, the FCS playoffs is starting, I think it's rivalry weekend or conference championship weekend.
Maybe, yeah, I think you're right.
So we're getting very close to the FCS playoff model, the more teams we put in there. I understand not wanting to play it so close to Christmas, take away some of that time. I don't want to lose rivalry weekend on Thanksgiving weekend.
I don't either.
That's extra time off if you're not in our business. Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. I don't want to lose that.
And while it stinks this year, I like the Sunday night before Labor Day game, which doesn't stink. It's the Labor Day night game that stinks. Boston College and Florida State. I don't know how we ended up with that game.
You can still have those games.
Yeah. It only stinks if BC gives Florida State their second loss.
Which I'm not taking off the table right now, the way Florida State played.
But you can still schedule that Sunday night window. The NFL hasn't started yet.
You can. It's just not Labor Day. I guess a normal Monday night wouldn't change anything. I'm going to watch it either way.
Yeah, I tell you, the college football folks may be looking ahead to – there's talk about an 18-game schedule in the NFL. There's a chance that NFL season could crank up Labor Day weekend pretty soon.
You think that's what they're thinking is let's go ahead and get off that? See, I've thought it would go the other way where they keep pushing the Super Bowl back, which if they add one more regular season game, it finally gets to what everybody has begged for, is the President's Day weekend Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And that's what I ultimately want.
Yeah. And I think that might be what the NFL does, because I think that could even increase their Super Bowl numbers if possible. Is if people did not have to go to work the next day.
The Super Bowl parties would be crazy.
I think they would be crazy.
Because you know how quick people clear out in that fourth quarter. Like, right, a lot of people will leave at halftime after the halftime show.
Yeah, they watch halftime. Yep.
Yeah, and then the other people, I mean, it's a quick clear out because that game doesn't get over until roughly 9 o'clock Central Time, where we originate out of. And that's just a lot, man. That full day and then getting up and going to work.
Now, I will also say what the quiet part out loud, and Russell has said this in the mybookie.ag chat room. Code next round at mybookie.ag.
They're doubling your first-time deposit bonus.
I just saw that. How about that, man? So great. First weekend of football, your sign-on bonus at mybookie.ag, they double it for you. That's a heck of a deal.
If you use
code
promo
next round.
Code next round.
Code next round. He's saying the quiet part out loud. Are they creating some runway here so that when they dump conference championship games, now they've got all the time they need to expand the playoffs however much they want?
Yeah, 16 games. And now you play 2 on-campus games. And
that's right. Now I've got all the runway I need now that I've dumped conference championship. I think you're way down the line on dumping conference championship games.
Yeah.
But I do think at some point it will happen.
It'll be interesting to see how they work this year and how everyone approaches that. One more thing before we get to the top of the hour, after I tell you about our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. The Meltdown guys, by the way, Meltdown every day, 2 o'clock Central, live with Melton and Lunceford. They go down there for their free evaluation. They start their weight loss training. I continue my maintenance and also working on cholesterol and blood pressure numbers. They can help you out so much at Way to Wellness. Great folks there. The plan is designed specifically for you, no cookie cutter plan. Every time I'm down there, I see someone from our Next Round platform, man or woman, who's in there starting their journey or continuing their journey. Go to the website at planforme.com, and you get the opportunity to do that. No cookie cutter plan. Everything's designed for you. The program overseen by Leslie and her board certified professionals. That consultation you see on the screen is free. No contract, no sign up fees. The website, planforme.com. Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Brownie.
Can I make one more point on week 0?
Yes.
And I don't know if this will go into the decision making or not. I'll put this in perspective. To get into the top 10 most viewed games of last year, you had to have at least 9 million viewers. Okay?
Right.
That's a lot, too.
That is a lot. What do you think Florida State, Georgia Tech? Standalone game, middle of the day, 11 o'clock kick.
Middle of the day.
Well, I mean,
this past week, yeah.
Middle of the day. I will tell you this. The most watched game of last season was the middle of the day, Ohio State, Michigan.
I would say 4 million.
I'm going to say, because it's the start of the college football season, straight out of game day, I'm going to say it got 10.5.
It got 5 million.
Wow,
which last year was the 37th most watched game of the season, Florida State, Florida. So that standalone, I would think, I mean, I don't know if everybody's just wrapping up summer or they're not ready for, I don't know.
I mean, we were at the Old River Grill, and I was looking out at how many people weren't watching the game.
Yeah.
Which you kind of expect down there. But, you know, I think people are, I don't know, maybe even conditioned to Labor Day weekend is when college football kicks off, and it would have to be a massive brand.
Yeah, that's a great point, that your summer as a great American citizen doesn't end until Labor Day. I mean, schools have started. They shouldn't, but schools have started. Yeah. You summer it until Labor Day, and then you get into
and I don't know about you guys, but if somebody was like, okay, I've got this incredible trip. We're going, I don't know. I've got a trip to Mexico. We'll just hypothetically throw it out there. And it is going to be it ends the weekend before Labor Day. In my mind, I'd be like, okay, that works. If you said anything on Labor Day, it doesn't work because I know it is a full slate of college football.
But I think that also shows you how college football viewing numbers are helped by me also being home to view my team. Yeah. So in other words, if Alabama and Auburn had these night kicks and Florida State and Georgia Tech played at 11, it'd be a much bigger number because I'm home. But if my team's not playing, I'm more likely to make one more beach trip, one more lake trip.
It's why we struggle with television ratings and I believe attendance for spring football leagues is because it's out of the season of football, but it's the great weather when down here in the South, we're going to the beach, the lake.
Yeah, you're battling weather there. Yeah.
I got other things to do other than watch football.
That's right.
All that to say that we love football and we'll watch it wherever they put it, but we'll see if they end up changing and taking away week 0 in the near future there. Clay Travis, when we come back, one thing we'll talk to Clay about, the Connor Stallions documentary. Hopefully Clay has seen it. I've yet to watch it because we were on the road last night, but a lot of people have. He's playing the role of the victim, apparently, according to Stuart Mandel. A lot of don't recall.
Will you watch it?
I will watch it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Will you?
No.
You will not watch it.
No desire.
I just don't have a ton of interest in the story,
I don't
to be honest with you.
Like, I tried to read through it today. I guess somebody stayed up till midnight or 2 a.m. whenever it dropped. And I was reading the highlights, and I zoned out.
Yeah. So Clay Travis coming up on the other side. Then our upset alerts for the first week of the season. Right now, it's the best time of year. Everyone's tied for first.
That's right.
So we get going with our upset alerts. Send yours in there. We got some new rules that we're going to follow the college game day guys and just stick with this forever and ever and ever. So we got set rules, graphic prepared by Forrester to sort of lay it out there for us. All that's coming up on the show that's being brought to you today by our friends out at the Barber Motorsports Park. What a special weekend is coming up. Not Labor Day weekend, but the weekend after that. Or actually it is Labor Day weekend. Is it September 6th through the 8th? When's Labor Day?
It is not September 6th. Yeah.
No?
Week from yesterday.
Yeah, week from yesterday. Not September 6th.
No, it's the week after Labor Day.
Yes.
Out at the Barber Motorsports Park. It's the Fanatec GT World Challenge America. Now, this is the amazing, iconic sports cars that you get, the Lambos, the McLarens, the Porsche, the Ferraris. They're all on the track, battling each other out on that beautiful Barber Motorsports track. Beer gardens are there, kids zones are there, and you can bring your dogs to the park on Saturday for the Bark in the Park. It's the Fanatec GT World Challenge America. September 6th through the 8th, right there at Barber. Kids 15 and under get in for free. You can get your tickets today with our friends at the Barber Motorsports Park. Clay Travis on the other side.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunceford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or michelson-laservision.com.
Things fall apart. There's even a book about it, but that doesn't mean you have to break the bank to fix them. Ryan Brown here for the Next Round. Our friends at Mortgage Right have a new renovation option that will make repairs and other home improvements easy. If you've recently purchased a home and find yourself short on cash, or you're looking to buy a fixer-upper, Mortgage Right's renovation loan program can help you spruce up your space. Repairs can be made to your roof, plumbing, flooring, and more with the help of top-notch mortgage professionals. So get your fix by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR. And MLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, new hour, Clay Travis coming up momentarily as we roll on. lanceslock.com, brought to you by our friends at Hemphill. Tell us about Hemphill Services. And we were watching the Braves delay last night because you had a winner that was cooking.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves came out, and the offense was on top of it at Target Field through 2, and then the rain started, and I was afraid we were going to get a washout, but they started back up. We got a win there, ended up having a winning night in Major League Baseball. Jump on board, new website, lanceslock.com, just specialized football program or package, everything all inclusive. Of course, you can get the monthly for $100. New YouTube channel, win at lanceslock.com. Please like, subscribe, share. Always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services since 1954. Trust the name. Birmingham is trusted for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Hard to stop a train. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Braves and Twins tonight again, but some unbelievable series. Astros playing the Phillies tonight, 5:45 TBS. Braves fans watching the Mets with the hot Diamondbacks, 8:40 on MLB, and then 9:10 at Dodger Stadium. Orioles and Dodgers. What could be a preview of the World Series.
Could be, yeah.
I mean, some really good series going on in Major League Baseball as we get ready for a major football weekend.
Indeed we do. We're about to kick it off all across the country. Kicked it off a little bit over the weekend. Clay Travis with us now, founder of Outkick, Fox Sports as well. What is up, Clay? How are you today?
I'm great. How are y'all?
Doing awesome. Thanks a lot, Clay, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. It's the best week 0 we've ever had, and that is a low bar, and it is not a lot of history. But Dunaway just informed us that now they're even talking about doing away with week 0, and everybody starting on what was last week, the Saturday before Labor Day. Do you have a strong feeling about that one way or the other?
I like it. What nobody is talking about is the sheer number of games and the length of the season that a lot of these kids are going to be playing. It's funny, NIL and transfer portal and everything else is kind of taken root. But you're talking about some teams maybe playing 17 games now. And so that's a pretty extraordinary toll on the body, especially as more and more of those games are being played in quote-unquote major conference competition. So I do wonder at what point does somebody sort of blow the whistle and say, hey, and maybe the answer is that since these guys are default pros now, that's a less of a consideration. But if you start in I like the idea of having additional bye weeks. Let me say that to begin with. I'm not somebody out there who says, one bye week like the NFL has makes a lot of sense. I'd rather there be more bye weeks and the season go longer as a fan. But I do wonder when you start talking about an 18-year-old playing 17 major college football games, potentially 16 in many cases, that's a lot. And granted, that's for the playoff teams, but it does start to beg questions.
If you would have asked me 3 or 4 years ago, Deion Sanders, describe him, I would have said charismatic, incredible athlete, best cornerback, lockdown cornerback I've ever seen. Love the personality. Now we fast forward to August 27th, 2024, and you've got Deion in Colorado banning reporters from coming in and asking questions to the program and to Deion. And I don't know. I just think the perception around Deion has completely changed. Is there any way in 2 years that he could completely change his legacy on people, how they view Deion Sanders?
What does he think he's doing, running for president? And that's a Kamala Harris joke. I do think it's funny that Deion's getting more criticism for not taking questions from reporters than Kamala Harris is. That's a good tweet banger that I wouldn't have thought of.
I never even thought of it till you said it.
But she hasn't had a press conference. She hasn't done a sit-down interview since she became the presidential nominee. And Deion Sanders is getting criticized more by the sports media, it seems to me, than the media at large is criticizing Kamala. Look, I think one of the challenges, and let's go big picture here. You and I and Dunaway, Brown, all of us grew up in an era where reporters asking questions of players and coaches was how we got information about our favorite teams, right? I mean, you would wake up in the morning and you would go straight to the newspaper. You probably were like me, go straight to the sports section, pull it out, and you would read what the latest coach said or player said about upcoming game this week, right? That's how I started almost every day. And the beat writers of those individual newspapers, whether it's Nashville, Tennessee, Mobile, Alabama, Birmingham, they had a great deal of power because while the information was distributed to multiple people, they were the conduit by which the coach's message and the player message got out to the masses. You really needed the media, in other words, to help carry your story and drive interest and engagement for your program, attendance, all those things. The era that we're in now, you don't need that anymore. Like, I don't know that Deion Sanders benefits at all, or any other coach hardly in America benefits at all from sitting down and doing press conferences and answering questions from a large gaggle of media. I have been saying for some time, every team could effectively bring a beat reporter in-house. Just like you hear when a game is over, the local broadcast team will sit down with the coach and ask him questions, or old school style, and I woke it up and used to love watching these shows now. I don't remember the last time I watched one. The coach's show, on the Sunday that would air right after a big win. Like, you'd be excited to wake up on Sunday and put on the coach's show and see what the coach said. I don't know that coaches benefit now from media availability. And my point on it is just, I think they get their message out through social media, through internal videos, through the ability to make their own stories in-house, which every team does now. I don't know that they benefit. And I've been in those press conference rooms a lot over the years, and I just don't think that there is some huge, tremendous benefit here. If you think somebody's being super negative about your program or not being fair, I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often, because I don't think there is actually very substantial of a benefit anymore for your average coach or your average player as it pertains to doing an event with someone.
Well, I mean, sure, they're not, Clay, but that's where we are in the news media too. I mean, if I want news colored red, I go to Fox. If I want news colored blue, I go to MSNBC. If I want positive Alabama news, I just listen to the people who cover Alabama on a day in and day out basis. If I want positive Auburn news, I just listen to the Auburn people. I go to Big Orange if I want Tennessee news. I don't think we get anything interesting out of all that stuff. Do you?
Well, I mean, the question is, first of all, a show like yours, in theory, and the shows that I've done over the years, we give, to a large extent, opinion. And if those shows grow enough, then the opinion makers want to come on and be involved with you, right?
Right.
So I think certainly there are massive amounts of silos that are out there. My big thing, and I wrote about this in my most recent book, what I think, and this is larger media ecosystem again, but the Deion question is fascinating to me because I think it all ties in. When's the last time, you guys will know better than me, it's Bama Online is the biggest Alabama message board site, right?
I think so.
For now.
We're chasing them down.
We just started covercrimson.com.
Covercrimson.com. One day you'll say
all
that
right,
about
and
us.
Then Auburn would be like, what is the traditional Auburn?
I think Auburn Live is their biggest one. Again, the barnauburn.com will be that one day.
Started at Auburn when the Barn Auburn.
We're only a month into
Okay.
these.
So my point on that is, and this goes to fan-based media, when is the last time that Bama Online or AU Undercover or whatever it's called broke a huge, awful story about Alabama or Auburn that dealt with the team?
Never.
I mean, never, right?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, because it's bad for their business.
Yeah.
I mean, if they tear their program down,
you can't be Auburn website and you can't be allowed in the Auburn building, right?
Yeah. Okay. No. So hey, that you're making my point.
Yeah.
When's the last? The New York Times and the Washington Post are left-wing fan sites now. They don't break negative news about Democrats because they're a subscription-based business, just like the Alabama Auburn fan sites are, and they know that if they do that, they lose subscribers.
Okay, the clock's ticking on you to say that there are also conservative
No, they're
sites that
100%.
only.
No, 100% there are. Yeah.
There really isn't, though. Think about this. There isn't a Washington Post or New York Times for conservative media. Now, you've got MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, however you want to break those down, but those sites are all advertiser-based businesses. That is, they make more money by having the largest possible audience. So there isn't, you could argue, I guess, the Wall Street Journal. Like I'm looking at the Wall Street Journal right now, but the Wall Street Journal is primarily a business publication. It's very, like, maybe it leans a little bit right because business tends to lean a little bit right, but it's not really a party fan site. Many people, Republican Party, read the editorial page in the Washington Post and get angry too. It's more middle of the road. There isn't right now in the media ecosystem a New York Times or Washington Post equivalent of a fan site. And by the way, my analogy on this that's really interesting is I'm a subscriber to the Washington Post. I'm a subscriber to the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. I try to read as much as I can. But I went to college in D.C. When the Monica Lewinsky story broke, the Washington Post was driving the Monica Lewinsky story, even though Bill Clinton was a Democrat. They covered him like they covered Richard Nixon. My argument for why that was is because it was an advertiser-based business. And every newspaper that arrives on your doorstep from a business perspective, and by the way, not many people get it on the doorstep anymore, which is its own challenge,
Who
right?
does that?
I still do. I still get print newspapers because I like to read the print newspaper, because otherwise I think you get fed the same stories algorithmically over and over again. But that's a whole nother world of media. But it's a advertiser delivery mechanism, right? The entire business model of a newspaper was they would print news and they got you to open it up because of the ads that were in it. And if you go back and you look, the number one thing that they used to be obsessed with was circulation. Because the bigger the circulation was, the more people who would read that product, the higher they could charge for advertising. Now, many of our media companies have moved to a subscription model, which is a very different business model. It's like the Alabama and the Auburn fan sites. And if you have fan site media, by and large, they're not interested in actually breaking negative news. And that's why you don't get a very balanced picture, in my opinion, of the political process right now. I think we're in sort of this crazy inflection point where our media ecosystem is broken. And so anyway, that's my big thesis on the media issues of the day. But I do think it ties in with Deion. In 1988, when Deion was an elite cornerback, if instead he had been a head coach, he would have really needed the media to get his message out. I don't think that he does now. How many Twitter followers does Deion have?
A ton. So the SEC loses which of these games? Miami at Florida, Notre Dame at Texas A&M, and LSU, USC, in Vegas.
I bet all three SEC. So my answer is none of them.
Wow.
I think my favorite bet of the week, and I don't know how LT has broken down on these. My favorite bet of the week is I think A&M is going to beat Notre Dame. You got Riley Leonard, who Mike Elko coached, who is coming into College Station at night. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere, brand new coach. That Jimbo Fisher team is really talented, right? Jimbo didn't get fired because he didn't recruit well enough. You've got a defensive head coach who shut down Notre Dame. Notre Dame breaking in a new a quarterback that he knows better than anybody. I think it'll be a low scoring. I love the under in that one. I think that A&M wins something like 20-13, I think was my predicted score. So I like the under and I like A&M. Until Lincoln Riley has a defense, how many years have we talked about, this year the Lincoln Riley defense is going to be different. Until he actually puts forward a decent defense, I'm going to take USC to lose games like this against LSU. And look, that final 7 games, I think it is, for Billy Napier and Ford is brutal. But I think the Gators can rally week 1. Miami has not been very good. They haven't been very disciplined. I know Mario Cristobal has recruited better, but they haven't been very disciplined. They've lost games that they should have won. The Swamp, it's hard to communicate. It's a really tough place to play. I think Florida's going to win that one outright. So I like Florida to pull off the upset. I think unless that number's moved, they're 2.5-point underdogs. I like them to pull off the upset. I like A&M to win by 3 or more, and I like LSU to win by 4.5 or more, and I like the over in that LSU-SC game. What about you guys?
You think Vandy's the only SEC loss then? You've got the SEC 15-1, or you think Vandy beats Virginia Tech?
No, I've got Vandy losing to Virginia Tech, but I do like the under in that game because I think Clark Lee, who is on the hot seat, has taken back over basically the Vanderbilt defense, and I think they'll take the air out of that game. So I think Vandy will lose to Virginia Tech, but I think that's a low-scoring, kind of ugly game.
Wow, 15-1. That'd be a heck of a week one for the SEC. I mean,
look, I bet against. I took Colorado State. I think they're like 32 or 33-point underdogs. But I mean, most of the games are not. I mean, you got Tennessee against
Chattanooga.
Chattanooga, and Alabama's got Western Kentucky. I mean, most of the games are not like games where you sit back and say, "Oh, that could go either way."
That's a heck of a weekend. 15-1 from the SEC. Clay, thank you very much for the time. Enjoy week one.
Hey, y'all too. Appreciate it.
All right, see you, Clay, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
And the show being brought to you as well by our friends at The Wharf Casual Seafood. Great locations around the state of Alabama and down towards the Gulf Coast, and now here in Moody. Direct seafood from the Gulf all the way up here to Moody, fresh every day.
Yeah, to find the nearest location and to check their menu out, go online, wharfcasualseafood.com. The Wharf Casual Seafood, fast casual restaurant serving American caught seafood with locations. Montgomery, Dothan, Alexander City, and the newest location, Dunaway mentioned there, Moody, Leeds. They've got beer and margarita specials today, half off wine tomorrow. They also have seafood entrees, tacos, platters, po' boys, salads, burgers, and so much more. You're going to absolutely love it. For more information, wharfcasualseafood.com.
Okay, so quick little trivia question from Yahoo Sports, Kendall Baker. NFL quarterback, career touchdown passes. Who's the all-time leader, left-handed quarterback career touchdown passes, and whether or not you think Tua can get there or not.
Left-handed quarterback career touchdown passes. Yeah. Steve Young.
Steve Young is always the first guess.
Are you talking about college football?
No. NFL, all-time leading left-handed quarterback. Everyone goes Steve Young. It's not Steve Young.
Kenny Stabler.
It's not Kenny Stabler. Surprisingly, not as many touchdowns as you would think for Kenny the Snake. Would you believe it? 247. Forrester got it right. It's Boomer Esiason.
Yeah, I would have guessed Steve Young had more than Boomer Esiason.
I saw that today. Steve Young was my guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the obvious one.
See, if it would have been college quarterbacks, I think Kellen Moore was a lefty.
Yeah, Kellen Moore was a lefty.
So the record is what now?
247.
Tua is 60-ish?
You think so?
Yeah, do you have that number? You don't have the
number?
number?
I don't have Tua's number. No. I was just wondering, could Tua get there someday? Left-handed quarterbacks, but I thought Steve Young was the man. But Kendall Baker of Yahoo dropped that knowledge on me today, and I was like, I could have sat here and guessed all day and not got the Boomer Esiason. When you think about it, though, really good with the Bengals, right? And then another career with the Jets. Couple playoff runs there. He was good.
Tua's got 81 touchdown passes. Wow, I was way under on the 60. So yeah, he's got a good shot of getting there. 250.
Yeah, he stays healthy. He's got it.
And that offense with the weapons he's got.
Yeah, I saw. Also was reading. Was the Athletic? They had anonymous coach about quarterbacks.
Big time of year for anonymous coach.
Yeah, anonymous coach breaking down quarterbacks like Gardner Minshew. Nobody really wants Gardner Minshew. Just sometimes you're stuck with Gardner Minshew as one guy. But the best line was actually about Tua. You can look at his stats all you want, but it's all empty calories, is what he called them. Empty
Until
calories.
he wins a playoff game, that's what everybody's going to say about it.
Same with Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
empty calories. All right, when we come back, upset alert time. We love it every week. We do. We don't know how you guys feel about it. We love it every week.
I don't know how you can hate it.
And sometimes we sit back and just do things because we love it. So we're going to sit back and do a little upset alert. We'll explain the scoring on the other side. Play along at home. Keep your own score. Forster has sent me his. Lunceford hopefully has one. Taylor, EG, maybe I'll throw some in. You guys don't have to have yours today just before we get there for the weekend. I want to keep a running staff total as well. But our usual banter when we come back with sketchboard drawings and everything. You know it. You love it. It's brought to you today by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. We're back after this.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or the Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trustville.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
All right, back with you here on The Next Round. Have I messed up anything yet today other than...
Oh, yeah, but we're only halfway through the show.
Okay.
Yeah, you got plenty of time.
Yeah, let's just hold off on that.
Plenty of time to get some things I messed up.
Yeah.
Don't overreact to Georgia Tech being fabulous this year. Got a lot of that at the Selma Quarterback Club last night. People thinking Georgia Tech could make a run at the ACC title. It's the fourth straight year that a top 10 team has lost during week 0. 4th straight year, a top 10 teams lost during week 0.
Well, a lot of times LSU plays that week, right?
2024, number 10 Florida State loses to Georgia Tech. Last year, it was number 9 Clemson losing to Duke.
Yeah, got whipped.
Duke went on to win the national champ. Nope. Didn't even win the ACC. 2022, it was number 7 Utah losing to Florida in week 0. Went on to nope.
No, Utah ended up playing for the Pac-12. They won the Pac-12 championship.
Yeah. 2021, number 10 North Carolina lost to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech went on. Nope. So it could end up still being a very average year for Georgia Tech, though a lot of people are on the Rambling Wreck bandwagon this year after that. Our friends at CPAP Plus, they have changed the sleeping life of our man Ush, part of the Pennant Grace with Emily Grace McWhorter. And they can do that for you. Ush's story was simple, LT. He was still using the equipment he got when he first was diagnosed with a sleeping disorder.
Well, it was old equipment. It was outdated. He wasn't getting any help with his insurance. There was a disconnect between his doctor, his primary, and the insurance carrier. So he got CPAP Plus involved. They actually made the calls. Insurance covered everything. It was that simple. He's loving his new equipment. Don't buy your mask and supplies from Amazon or online. Go see the folks at CPAP Plus. See what you're actually buying. Visit any of those 3 convenient locations. Pelham Highway 280, now open and trustful. They've got a free CPAP checkup, free filters, no appointment needed. They carry the best equipment from names like ResMed, React, Fisher Paykel, with masks and supplies in stock every day. Do you need it today? Guess what? They've got it today. They also have travel CPAP machines in stock. With over 200 5-star reviews for Google, the folks at CPAP Plus are CPAP users themselves, so the people helping you know what it's like and are ready to help. Get into one of those great locations or Google CPAP Plus. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you.
Georgia State is at Bobby Dodd Saturday. Now, they're a 22-point underdog at mybookie.ag. I'm not suggesting Georgia State's going to win this game. I am suggesting this will be tougher than Georgia Tech wants it to be.
Probably so.
I mean,
Georgia State is replacing a lot, but I agree with you. I said it yesterday, day before, whenever it was, that I do believe that this was it's a typical letdown spot. You're coming back from Europe. You're reading all the headlines. It's a big number.
You got
I just don't see them being focused for 60 minutes.
Everybody's celebrating you.
Brett Key will try to have these guys focused. He will tell them all the right things, but whether or not that resonates with the 19, 20, 21-year-old typically doesn't.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock Central, the Luganville game on the ACC Network, if you want to watch what I think will be a close game in the fourth quarter.
And we all fly. It's a little extra when you fly from Europe. It's a little takes a while to get your legs back under you. I should have asked you. We'll produce on the air. Do you have an open for the upset alert?
I do.
I should have asked you, Forrester, when we were walking back from the restroom. Do you have flashing lights for the upset alert?
Oh, he's always got flashing. What else do we need?
Do you have sirens and things like that during the upset alert? No.
I also do.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you think Tyler came just like completely unprepared?
I mean, these guys. I mean, you don't even need.
We don't have to coach.
Don't
anymore.
even need a coach.
No,
right?
That's right.
All right, it's time for the upset alert. Hit it, Tyler.
The College Football Spotlight.
Sound the alarm. College football's upset alert.
Brought to you today by our friends at the Pants Store, your headquarters for everything college football. If you like to yell Roll Tide or War Eagle, the Pants Store has your game day gear ready to go. Birmingham and Huntsville and Leeds and Tuscaloosa and Auburn. You can get the gear. You can also order online, pantstore.com, pantstore.com. They got the Bama and Auburn polos, the hats, the quarter zips, the Horn Legend gear, the Cutter and Buck, the Antigua, the Gentile. And for the ladies, they've got the rompers and the dresses and the rompers and the dresses. They got them all right there. Great footwear, too. Free alterations, free gift wrapping. Nothing says Roll Tide. Nothing says War Eagle more than the Pants Store, pantstore.com. Go check them out. 6 great locations around the great state of Alabama. Okay, rules that we're going to stay to, abide by, scoring we can understand. It's got some dynamic scoring possibilities if you get way behind.
Yeah.
Like I could tend to do.
Swing for the fences, huh?
Forrester's built a graphic. Here's the scoring. We have ripped these directly off College Game Day Superdog.
Okay.
Upset alert rules. Minimum spread is down to 4.5. Got to at least be 4.5. 5 points just simply for a cover.
Okay.
5 points plus the spread for an outright win. For instance, if you take Georgia State.
That's 22.
22 plus the 5.
27.
27. That could get you back in the game really quick.
Yeah, you get that in week 1. You're not going to get tracked down, my friend.
No, that's going to be tough.
1 point for kissing your sister.
All
right. So that's the rules we're going by.
I just don't even think. I think we put a hook on everyone, and we can vote which way the hook goes.
Don't go with the push.
Let's not have any pushes.
I wish I had that before we built the graphic.
Well, I'm just saying, pick 3. We've never had a push, right? I mean, we make sure there's a hook on everything.
We do that. On that. It's not a cover or anything. But see, I never know how to do the hook, right? Do I penalize myself or do I help myself?
Yeah, you can help yourself.
We could always say the hook goes in our favor.
Yeah.
If you just want to do it that way. Hook goes in our favor.
I would rather the hook go in somebody's favor than us to have any pushes.
Okay,
I can start us out.
We haven't.
Lunceford, just read. Just you tell me what you just put in the chat room. Give me Lunceford's microphone.
Changing the rules again.
Yeah. After saying,
hey, you know what? I bet next week something will happen.
It's not changing the rules as long as we don't have a push.
That's right. But we haven't even started yet,
Okay.
so we could change them. This is the time you change the rules before we start.
Okay. Daniel says, "Yep, the rules lasted approximately 45 seconds."
I just don't know why we would have a push.
I'm a Lance. Pushes are. You even called it kissing your sister.
Yeah. Well, you're penalized. It's a 1
We do live in Alabama. I mean,
wow, Lunceford.
Lunceford.
Out of bounds.
Sorry.
Yeah, thank you. All right. Brown won last year. I think you held on.
Oh,
right?
no, 100% won last year. Brown Bandit.
I'll go first just because I know you guys got here early with your art. My art is terrible. It's going to start a little sketchy.
As long as you win, there are no pictures.
Yeah.
All right. So Lance is going to start us off.
Well, look, and only one team was. Well, first of all, let me show you the logo, and you tell me who you think it is. Tyler, I'll just let you go with this.
Yeah, Tyler, who is this that Lance is picking?
Hawaii.
Wow,
Okay,
Tyler got it right.
What's wrong with that?
I don't feel. It's just. It's shaky. It's just.
I kind of like it.
It looks like it was put in a vice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
I
would have gone old school Rainbow Warrior.
Well,
but
I'll just say
understand.
this: there's only one team that has fought through the Delaware State Hornets this year and come out victors on the other side. I didn't stay up and watch it. I'm not going to lie to you. Year 3, Timmy Chang, they were supposed to be a lot more fluid, this offense. Apparently, it did not look good. They were really good in the first and fourth quarters, kind of floated through the second, third. Delaware State was able to make it interesting, but I don't know what you're going to get with Deshaun Foster and UCLA. You know, Ethan Garbers is going to be your starting quarterback. It's definitely a downgrade over the last couple of years from what you've had. I just think UCLA is not going to be that good. Coming over to the island, a team we always hear the biggest adjustment is made from week 1 to week 2. We'll see what Timmy Chang does there. 6:30 primetime CBS game. I'm catching 14.5. I'll take it.
All right. That's the upset alert from Lance.
I kind of like that play. I looked at that one. There's several that I looked at. That was one of them.
I don't love it, but.
No, I like it.
Brown won, so he'll go last.
Okay.
Always love the Brown Bandit.
What about the Brown Bandit?
I just love the whole bit. I love it.
I don't think you do. I think you're making that up. I think you're patronizing the Brown Bandit now.
I love it. I love it so much.
That's right. You can't allow him to have the spotlight, right?
I love it so much that this year.
Oh, Lance.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in the money. In the money. Where's all my Village People pants? Sing along. In the money.
Does Maggie make you wear that on date nights?
Jim, you be my captain.
I'm going with North Texas plus the 5. It helps me. 5.5 plus the 5.5 at South Alabama. I'm so sorry, Brown, for your daughter's loss as she goes to her second season of college football down at South Alabama. Plus 5.5 North Texas in Mobile. I'm gonna like what's their mascot? Is it the
Mean Green?
It's the Mean Green, but that's an eagle, right?
I don't know.
It's
It's like somebody shit that one out.
But this year,
you know their starting quarterback is, right?
We're in the money. What?
You know who their starting quarterback is?
For North Texas?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's Chandler Morris. And if he can stay healthy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now they've got 72 new guys on that team.
72?
72.
A lot of homework you've done here.
I don't know what you get with North Texas.
Wow.
I assume if Chandler Morris can stay healthy, I think they're going to be pretty good. They're going to be a tough out. But 72 new guys coming together. We'll see what happens week 1 in Mobile.
We're in the money. In the money.
As they're calling
Sorry,
him in the
you're
chat room.
catching. Put a half on there. Put
5.5.
5.5.
They're calling him in the mybookie.ag chat room, Jimmy Seaman.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Let's bring him in. The Brown Bandit. The Brown Bandit.
What's up, boys? Everybody have a good summer?
I
Lance?
did, man.
Did you have a good summer,
Did you
Lance?
not? Yeah, I did. Now, when we went to Selma last night to speak to their quarterback club, is there the reason you didn't bring that out? You were afraid you'd get shot?
Well, the Brown Bandit.
I mean, do you think everybody at that club was packing?
The chief of police was there. Didn't want to alert the chief of police with having a mask on in public.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, never want to do that. Jimmy, did you have a good summer?
I had a great summer.
Yeah.
Spent a little time listening to some 70s rock, some Village People back in the
that's
day.
right.
Yeah,
I like your hat. Tyler, congratulations. I saw the gender reveal yesterday. You and Nancy are having a... Oh, wait a minute. Wrong person. Sorry.
Wrong person.
That's Rockstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have any kids, do you, Tyler?
I do not.
Okay, that's good to know. All right, boys. I am off to a hot start. You didn't have me in here last week. If you'd had me in here last week, you know what you would have heard? Clean out your bank accounts and take the rambling wreck of Georgia Tech. They're a hell of an engineer.
I heard about that.
I thought you would just would have said, hey, look, play all 4 dogs. And
Well, we jumped out early. First game of the season. I liked it so much, in fact, I cleaned out my bank account and the bank account of 2 unsuspecting elderly women that live in a retirement home just down the road from my mansion. Bet all of that on Georgia Tech and made big money.
Do you give them their money back?
I redeposited it without them even knowing. I, of course, kept the earnings because I did all the work.
Yeah.
But they had no earthly idea. It's far easier than you would think. You just call them up, and when you get them on the phone, you're like, hello, my name is Ron. I am from Wells Fargo.
You just say Granny, and they're like, is this Tommy?
Basically, all you need is their address and their social security number. You can take all the money you want.
Wow.
But I don't have to do that because I've built the nest egg now, Tyler. I've got the nest egg ready to go. And we are ready to play it this weekend, guys. I have got the upset of week 1. It is going to make news in week 1. It is going to affect the college football playoff right out of the chute.
Playoff impact.
Playoff impact right out of the chute. And it is a full-on upset. All right? I got a song for it. You ready for a song? It's not in the Navy. It's not that good. It's not that good. But we're going to sing it, all right?
Okay.
Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia beats Penn State and gives the Brown Bandit a 1-0. West Virginia, Melton Mama. Fire that musket for me, Tyler. Fire it. Fire it again, Tyler.
You got the musket.
Give me the musket one more time.
Let me see the artwork.
Oh, it's West Virginia's
not
logo.
bad. Why didn't you throw a little yellow in there to separate?
You know, we didn't have any yellow.
Okay.
Fire that musket one more time for Lance.
There we go.
Yeah, West Virginia Mountain Mama. Plus the 8.5. That's 8.5 points right there.
I would.
Hang on. Tyler, 8.5 points. Do I need them?
We don't need them.
We don't need them! 8.5 points. West Virginia. Fire the musket for the Mountaineers. They win it outright. Yes.
I would feel better if this was a night game in Morgantown.
I would too. It's 11 o'clock, big noon kick.
Yeah, that's early.
Klatt and Gus.
That's early for the couch dwellers.
Oh, Klatt. Plus 8.5. West Virginia Mountain
Couch
Mama.
dwellers. All right. From the back row, can I get Lunceford's microphone? Lunceford sent his pick in before he knew my pick.
Can I change it now?
How good do you feel about your pick now?
Can I change it? I don't feel good about it.
He too is on North Texas. Forster sent in his pick before LT made his pick. Forster, how do you feel about your pick now?
I'm still good with it.
Yeah, he picks Hawaii back there. He was on. Anybody pick West Virginia with the Bandit? Nope.
I'm on an island by myself. Lance likes it.
Yeah,
I do like it. I do.
I'll
I'll
be cheering for him for sure.
Hey, really good game at halftime. Then Penn State ended up pulling away. I don't think people realize, and this goes back to James Franklin's inability to beat top 10 teams. Did you realize they had the 12th highest scoring offense in college football last year?
Penn State?
Yeah.
James Franklin's normally not good at
No,
offense.
36.2 points per game. And people believe this version of Penn State in 2024 will be better than last year's version. If that is the case, could be a problem, but I like where you are. I think they hang around.
Outright win.
All right, so there we go. That's our upset alert for week 1. A little tweak to the rules. We'll go back and rebuild the graphic and take the whole tie out. Everything's a hook. Look, it's already been rebuilt. Don't change it all year long. There you go. There's the rules.
Yep, no hooks.
5 points for the cover, 5 points plus the spread for the outright win, and we're all in the Navy, in the money this year.
In the money.
Yeah.
Are you going to wear the hat every pick?
Oh, no. It may be a different hat every week.
Oh, I like that.
Whatever Laurel sends Lunceford here with me. No, it was either that or Britney Spears wig today. And I was going to save that a little bit later on in the year.
Oh, don't get too excited, Lance.
So this is not your prop closet from home.
No.
Prop closet.
How could I talk with that ball in my mouth?
Wow.
That's very true.
Wow.
All right. There any mistakes in that one?
That could be could be when Syracuse.
The hat
when you're
might have been a
picking the
mistake.
orange, just rolling with your gag ball. Won't even need to say anything.
Any mistakes in that segment?
The hat. I think the hat could have been a mistake.
All right. Cleaning up dead wood, the hat, the hook, the rules, and all that brought to you by our friends at Gray's Tree Services, LT. Boy, they came to your backyard and changed the back landscape pretty quickly.
They've been to Rockies. They've been to Reed's. Look, if you're having an issue, these are the guys you need to call upon. Family owned and operated for over 25 years. Right here in Birmingham, experts in high-risk tree removal removals, pruning, soil health treatment to strengthen your trees and plants. Grace maintains a fleet of specialized cranes and lifts to get the job done right and prevent damage to your home. You've probably seen them rolling around town, those beautiful trucks. That is our friends at Grace. They extracted four trees from my property just a few months ago. Call them, 205-281-6100, 205-281-6100. You see Scotty has provided you with a QR code. You can scan that. You can visit their website right there. Or just go to gracetree.com. Very important. Make sure you tell them the guys from the Next Round sent you.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the Bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters. It is the will to prepare to win." Hi, I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryant Bank, and I can tell you that our Bryant bankers have the dedication and the experience to put together a financial game plan that is right for you. At Bryant Bank, we specialize in community banking and offer personal and business loans, checking and savings account, mobile banking, and treasury management services. Stop by one of our 18 offices across the state of Alabama to find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
For a great experience in golf, go to Bent Brook, just off I-459 in the Birmingham area. You've got 27 holes where you can play your 18 holes 6 different ways. Open 7 days a week with 5 sets of tees that makes golf enjoyable for any level golfer. You get complimentary GPS on every golf cart, and the AU Victory bent grass greens play as pure as any in the area. Bent Brook continues to improve with upgraded greens and redesigned holes. Book that next tee time right now. BentBrook.com. BentBrook.com. Michelson look ahead to one of the biggest games maybe of the season this weekend, Notre Dame and Texas A&M. That look ahead brought to you by Michelson Laser Vision.
205-969-8100. That is the number you need to call. The number that I called more than 2 decades ago. Ask for Amy. Tell her the Next Round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation, 0 to lose, to find out if LASIK is right for you. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask about the pre-inflation pricing. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Payton Thorne on the show earlier with us. You can get that entire thing on our YouTube channel and different cuts on all of our social media platforms. Audio version, Spotify and Apple. Appreciate you doing all that. Like and subscribe when you get there. At Next Round Live on all the platforms. At Next Round Live on all the platforms. Consistency matters. And Payton Thorne with us every Tuesday. It's part of our NIL deal. If you miss Tyler Booker, he's with us every Monday. and all of his stuff up from yesterday. You can go check that out as well. Mike Elko's first game as the Texas A&M head coach. It's really one of the more unique stories you're going to get because he leaves Duke. His quarterback leaves Duke. He goes to Texas A&M. His quarterback goes to Notre Dame. So now in the very first game of the year, it's former coach against his former quarterback at two different teams. Here's Mike Elko talking about that unique situation.
I guess it's just kind of the nature of where college football's at now, but how interesting is it that, you are facing your quarterback from last year here in the season opener, and you said a guy you're pretty familiar with?
Yeah, I think it's interesting and weird and not really something I want to do, and but at the end of the day, it's kind of part of the game. I would argue that he has more of an upper hand than we do because he's probably a little bit more familiar with this defense than most quarterbacks we play. And not that it's the exact defense we ran at Duke. It's obviously blended together with what we've done and with what Coach Bateman brings to the table. But I think we don't have a ton of comfort as a program going against this offense. We haven't defended it for a single snap. I think 2 years going against some version of this defense that's similar to what he'll see Saturday night probably gives him a little bit more of an advantage than it does us.
Ooh, mind blown right there by me. I never thought of it that way, is that he thinks Riley could have the advantage.
Yeah,
or
I think he's going to play it the
I
other
think he's
way.
being nice. I agree.
Yeah, and you just wonder how things would have turned out differently in the ACC last year if they don't give up that big fourth down. I'll just say this. Last year, Elko's defense, a Duke defense against Notre Dame, only allowed the Irish 2 of 15 on third downs.
Yep.
And now you're going against a quarterback that you're very familiar with in that hostile environment with the in-helmet communication. How big of a problem could this be in front of that crowd?
And if he knows your defense, Brownie, the way he probably does, that means you can set him up with a little old bait and switch. Okay, we're going to show him this, and Riley was taught that when he sees this is what he's going to read to, so we're going to give him a little ink and take advantage of that.
What are we giving him?
The little ink. You got me giggling today. I didn't get any sleep last night.
Sorry, I just snorted. We're going to give him a little Where is, what's the toughest place he's ever played, Riley Leonard?
Oh, he's played at Clemson.
I think that game he might have played there 2 years ago.
Yeah, I'm looking
at Durham last year.
Didn't he take a long run down the near sideline for a touchdown?
In 2021, I would just give you his road games. In 2021, Riley Leonard started at Virginia, at Wake, and at Virginia Tech. Of those, Virginia Tech is easily the most difficult.
Yeah.
In 22, Riley Leonard started at Northwestern, at Kansas, at Georgia Tech, at Miami, at BC, and at Pitt. Not a tough one on the slate right there. In 23, he started at UConn, at FSU. That was a tough spot. 38-20, they lost that game. At Louisville, at Carolina, and at Virginia. I mean, he's barely played any tough road games.
He hasn't played at Clemson?
Nope.
God, who is that took the big run down the inside sideline for a touchdown?
No, I think it was him in Durham.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're thinking of the.
Maybe it was.
They did
Maybe
not
it
play
was.
at Clemson in his time at Duke. They played Clemson at home.
How about that?
My point is, he's played nothing anywhere close.
Yeah, 102
to College Station.
102,000 plus.
Florida State could be a tough place to play. And that was a good Florida State team, obviously, last year when they played them. A game Florida State won 38-20.
I'm gonna make
by far and away the most difficult spot.
Prediction on this game, little out of nowhere prediction. I think this will be the largest crowd in Kyle Field history.
You think it actually will be, or they'll just announce
Well,
it?
you
because
know,
it's-
it seemed like every year when you'd have a bigger game, you would have, they found a way to squeeze 3 or 4 more people in.
Yep.
Just
I
because
think-
they're on national TV, primetime game day, they're
and
on
you
that
factor
biggest
in
crowd.
Notre Dame. I mean, any stragglers. Texas A&M fans are known not to sell their tickets. They like to hold them tight, but it'll be a premium value ticket for Notre Dame fans.
And this will look like they're showing all the support from Mike Elko and all that.
Yeah. Flush Jimbo Fisher. Let's go out and support them. First game, everybody's undefeated.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see it.
I think the biggest one at old Kyle Field before they changed it was the Alabama Johnny Manziel game.
The return, the 2013
I think
game?
it was the return game there in 2013. Then they've redone this. So I think largest crowd in Kyle Field history.
Yeah, I don't think Riley Leonard's ever seen anything like this. I mean, when I just read that list of games to you, there's nothing that approaches College Station.
We haven't seen Riley Leonard play football in a long time. You know, he got hurt after 4 games last year. They shut him down.
Yeah. So it's a tough spot for him, and I think Mike Elko can use the crowd to, one thing that interests me is seeing, and I don't know how fast Notre Dame's going to try to go, but seeing how much Mike Elko shows him one thing, to your point, that he knows might make him uncomfortable, and then switch, at the last moment, switch, with 5 seconds on the play clock, switch right before the snap. Just a cat and mouse game between Mike Elko and Riley Leonard will be fascinating to watch.
Yeah, especially if you get one early mistake from Riley, get a little pick, and see what happens at that point, if he can handle the pressure. We'll hear from Hugh Freeze and Kane Womack from yesterday's news conference coming up at the top of next hour. But right now, it is time for 4 Downs. We get to it every day on the show. It's brought to you by our great friends at Slice. You can't beat the pizza. It's the best in the business, absolutely the best. Unique variety of pizza choices in 5 great locations.
Yes, the original location in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park. Newest location right there in Edgewood, the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Get into the Bajaya Brothers. As Dunaway said, local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Better chance of being back in 2025, Deion Sanders or Billy Napier?
I'm going to say Billy Napier, guys. I've said it a couple times. I think they end up 6-6 in the Birmingham Bowl at Protective Stadium, and I think that'll be a heck of a job by him. And I just want to see Deion want to coach this team when he doesn't have 2 sons and a virtual son on the team. I don't think he's in it for the long run. I may be wrong. He may be there the next 10 years. But I don't think so. I'm going to go Billy Napier, better chance of being back.
I mean, I just think, there's one that is 100% job related. The other one does involve family and could be job related plus family. I'm not saying Sanders gets fired, but if he struggles again this year and family is departing, what is your...
Oh, there's no way they fire him.
No.
Because
I'm not
attendance is up.
Yep. They're invested.
People are betting on him in Vegas. I mean, they're throwing 200 to 1 odds for them to win the Big 12 championship. I think they're the biggest liability other than Ohio State. I think I read today in Vegas right now is Colorado.
Oh, that ain't a liability. They ain't got to worry about it.
That's a collection.
Yeah, I do think Deion probably is out before Napier. Now, it depends on what happens this year. Like, if Deion sticks around after this year, you're right, he could be there for a long time. But I agree with Brown. I think with Shedeur and Shiloh going on to the NFL, I think this is going to be it for Deion Sanders. And I kind of agree with you. As difficult as the schedule is, and we'll know a lot more after this Saturday, got a feeling Florida finds a way to win 6 games.
I think Napier scratches out a job saver. I really do.
I do too, man. It has to start this weekend, though.
Miami, Florida,
Florida.
First half of the schedule, yeah.
Yeah, great game. 2:30 this weekend, Miami, Florida.
Second down.
Aaron Paul, 45 years old today, a.k.a. Jesse Pinkman. If I asked you guys, who was the best character on Breaking Bad?
Oh, for me, it's Jesse Pinkman. I only saw 2.5 seasons maybe, but it was him. I loved his...
I can't believe you shut it down after 2.5 seasons.
You made it past the bad part. It's only great from that point on.
Yeah,
it really is.
I can still go back and watch it.
You can?
Yeah, I can still go back and watch it. I'm going to say him. I loved the way it was almost a love-hate at times relationship with so many people with him. I thought he was funny. Really loved his relationship with that girl next door.
Forrester's right. Skylar was awful.
Yeah, everybody hates her.
The wife,
Goodman.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, God, she was the meanest person.
Yeah, she was. Saul Goodman is the correct answer.
Yeah, it is. And I think we just got kind of, I don't know.
So he was a character on Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Hasn't been introduced yet, the part I've seen.
So good.
So, and then he goes on and has his own series.
He steals the show when he's introduced.
I just think because he became, such a big character with his own show that we tend to forget how good he was in spots on Breaking Bad.
I would also make an argument for Gus Fring. He was just so mysterious, and like you spent the whole series trying to figure him out, and I don't know that you ever did, really. You know, just the dichotomy between who everybody thought he was and who he really was.
Who is that guy?
He's the guy that owned the chicken joint. He would always wear the yellow shirt with a black tie.
Okay.
I think he's been introduced by the time.
And Hank had. There
Hank.
was something interesting about Hank too.
Yeah.
What about Badger and Skinny Pete?
I was going to say Badger. I always
The
like
combo of
Badger.
those
He
two.
talk like this, right?
I liked Badger and
That's what
Skinny
Forrester
Pete.
said. No love for Skinny Pete.
I mean, they pulled Skinny Pete out of an alley. They put down your glass pipe, Skinny Pete.
We got a job for you.
You're going to love it.
Shower? No, you don't need shower. Wardrobe? Nope, don't need
I
wardrobe.
did like Badger.
Third down.
Darren McFadden, 37 years old today. If I asked you the best Arkansas Razorback of all time, any sport, who would it be?
Any sports. God, they got a good baseball history, but I'm going to.
Yeah.
Had a really good basketball
I know.
history, too.
This is just what they did at Arkansas?
Yeah.
At Nolan Richardson National Championship in 1994, is that right?
Yeah,
95,
Oliver Miller,
I thought.
Todd Day.
Oliver Miller.
Yeah, 95.
Was Mayberry on that team too?
Lee Mayberry was.
Yeah. I think you've got the right one. I think I'll go Darren McFadden.
I think so too.
I think it might be McFadden.
Yeah, I mean, I think
too.
he was one of the few players in my lifetime. Herschel Walker,
Sean
Bo
Andrews was really good on that offensive line.
One of the few players in my lifetime. Herschel Walker, Bo Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Darren McFadden. That literally anytime they touched the ball, you thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah.
And I think all four of those guys were in that category. And I'm not sure how many more I actually put in that category.
Yeah. Better Run DMC. That one or the musical group?
Probably that one. I'd go that one.
Musical group.
Fourth down.
No Sleep to Brooklyn.
Today is
That one right.
National Banana Lovers Day. Best way, I don't know if you guys even like bananas, but best way to have a banana.
Foster.
You know what I saw when we were leaving the floor of Bama? We were pulling out, and there was, on somebody's marquee, it said, Bushwhacker banana split style.
Oh.
How good does that sound?
Now, where would that was near the
It
Bama?
was just some random,
Oh, I'd try the heck out of that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would too. I used to love banana splits. I don't even know if they make them anymore.
Boy, it's a lot of work. I mean, if you ask somebody to make a banana split.
Timmons goes frozen, chocolate covered. I feel like I should give him my hat. Chris says banana pudding.
Banana pudding is terrific.
I do love banana pudding.
Bananas Foster is my favorite dessert.
Bananas Foster is great. Banana bread's really good.
It
A peanut
is.
butter and banana sandwich is really good.
I eat all of that. I can't stop eating banana bread. Like if it's, give me the smaller loaf because I'll eat the whole dang thing.
I love banana. I mean, just about any way you can prepare a banana, I am all in.
Yeah.
I like a good banana.
It is.
too.
It's an underrated. Like it might be. If I could only go one fruit, it might be the fruit I would go with.
I think so, just for the desserts.
Yep.
Yeah. And is that a Curb reference? There's always money in the banana stand. No,
that
it's
is
Arrested Development.
Arrested Development.
Yeah, I get those two confused.
It's very early in it if you go watch it.
Yeah.
There's always money in the banana stand. Dad, we burned the banana stand. Well, you did what?
Yeah. That's very early in the series. I
Yes.
made it to that part and then stopped. Didn't finish first year. All right, that is our 4 downs today, brought to you by our friends right there at Slice.
Yeah, created by the late Jeff Bajaya, just a fantastic guy. I miss this guy all the time. His brothers, Jason and Chris, continue to celebrate his legacy. Stop into one of those 5 locations for lunch or dinner, carry out catering. They've got it all. Slice Pizza and Brew. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
Greg from Pell City says Miss Andrea's banana bread has caused some stumbling blocks during his diet time here.
We'll need to try that.
That's sugar-free.
You're going to have to prove it.
That's right.
Greg from Pell City.
All need to know.
Big talk there until we taste it. What are you saying is the worst, Lunceford?
Bananas?
Average? Bananas?
Bananas, they're the worst.
What's your favorite fruit?
Probably apple.
Oh, that's very boring.
Apple, anything citrus, infinitely better.
Forrester, what's your favorite fruit, Forrester?
Oh, blueberries.
Oh, I do like blueberries.
I could eat a whole freaking carton of blueberries.
Boy, that's way off the board right there.
Maggie gets so mad at me for a lot of reasons, Lance. You don't have to say it. But she gets so mad at me when I make my yogurt
He's
bowl
still alive?
at home. Is I use half of the whole container of blueberries each time. I go through blueberries left and right. Peaches for Nick. Strawberries everywhere.
Peaches are phenomenal,
I've got a blueberry bush at my house, and it's massive. And now here's the problem.
Thank you, Papa Smurf.
No, it's over the peat moss pit that houses the septic.
Oh, so your human feces are growing good blueberries.
I mean,
it's
I
great
would assume.
fertilizer.
Yeah.
That's some. Now I don't know what they're going to taste like.
All right,
It's good fertilizer.
I had them back in the day.
Yeah.
Hadn't had them in a while.
All right, here we go. One more hour on the show. This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Swing by there. He's got some nanner pudding as a dessert down there. It's terrific. Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Check it out. Brian cooked to order overnight. Comes out piping hot. Chicken fingers. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's that time of year where you need to be talking more about the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. So good. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Perfect for your tailgates or watching the game at home this weekend. It is champyschicken.com.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Are you tired of buying your CPAP mask and supplies online only to be disappointed? It's time to visit CPAP Plus, your locally owned and operated CPAP shop that prides itself on personal service. Come see what you're buying at CPAP Plus with 3 convenient locations in Pelham, Highway 280, and now open in Trustful. Drop by for a free CPAP checkup and free filters, no appointment needed. Plus, sign up for their giveaway for a chance to win a free travel CPAP machine. Just Google CPAP Plus or visit any of those 3 locations.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, final hour of the show. And some more college football to get to, including hearing from Hugh Freeze and Kane Womack from yesterday's news conferences, and Nick Sheridan, the coordinators. EG's on her way down to practice day down at Auburn. Much more from her coming up a little bit later on. Again, thank you to the Selma Quarterback Club. They had us out last night. And thank you to our friends at Odie's. They'll have Lance and the crew out there coming up Wednesday night. No, Rockstar's on vacation. So
I guess he's on vacation. I really don't know, but I need to confirm.
Have you met my friend Tyler?
He's at the beach.
He is at the beach.
According
Okay.
to Tyler.
Will you be in tomorrow then?
At trivia?
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I think.
There you go.
I'll try my best.
Me,
I love
Will
trivia.
Haver, Ryan Brown, hopefully filling in for Rockstar. That will be tomorrow night, the original location in Crestline.
I love it when Ryan has to sing at trivia, when the wheel lands
that
on.
tune.
Yeah.
The other location,
West
Edgewood,
Virginia.
Oxmoor Broadway. Stop in, enjoy incredible food from Rodney Davis. Has been doing it for almost 35 years now. Award-winning wings, delicious burgers, great sandwiches, salads, ice-cold beer buckets, full of the Bud Light. Get into one of those 2 locations today. It's Odie's Tavern.
All right. Tyler, let's run through some sound here. First, give me cut number 1. EG in Tuscaloosa yesterday talking with Nick Sheridan, the offensive coordinator. About what, 35% of the room last night at Selma Quarterback Club were Alabama fans?
Yeah, a bigger disparity.
Auburn fans.
No, 35 were Alabama.
I'd say 25 Alabama.
Okay.
Oh, you think only 25?
Well, you had some mix. You had Kentucky here. You had Georgia
Mississippi
there.
State. You had a Mississippi State.
A couple of North Carolina fans,
Yeah,
ironically.
I met a Georgia Tech fan. He had on his I guess yellow and black is their official colors, gold and black and gold, whatever.
Yeah.
But a more imbalanced room than I would have imagined at Selma. I didn't know if we were in Bama country or Auburn country, but we were in Auburn country.
Yeah, a lot of Auburn fans down there. But the Alabama fans, they're still remembering the Devontae Smith and the other great running wide receivers before that. So EG asked Nick Sheridan yesterday about his wide receivers. Listen in.
Coach, continuing on the wide receiver discussion, what checkpoints do you want to see them reach in game 1?
I don't think there's anything specific to them that's different from the rest of the guys. Kind of to the question about Jalen. What we're looking for in the first game. We want to play winning football, and I think that comes down to doing the simple things really well. And so, for all of those guys, specifically for wide receivers, you're looking for them to line up quickly. Execute their assignment as fast as possible, make the simple plays, and when opportunities for big plays or their talent to take over, you want to see that come out. But ultimately, I think for all the positions, you want to see just simple execution, good communication, good fundamentals, alignment, assignment, technique, those types of things. That's what we're looking for.
Okay, so that's his thoughts on the wide receivers.
By the way, uncanny how much he looks like one of my neighbors.
Really?
Yeah.
Not off of that.
Central Florida grad, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to Ryan.
Not off of that, but more about Nick Sheridan. More pressure on him or Kane Womack if Alabama football doesn't perform the way their Alabama fans are used to them performing.
I think if offense struggles, you've got a coach that has historically coached offense as a head coach. So a little bit like the Hugh Freeze situation last year, it's going to blow back on Kalen DeBoer as much as it is Nick Sheridan.
Yeah. It's going to seem like a simpler fix if the offense struggles.
Now, the problem with the defense is if it struggles, you're battling the shadow of a 17-year-old coaching or 17-year coaching giant that has come before you. So I think Nick Sheridan is going to be compared to Kalen DeBoer, and why is it not working? Kane Womack is going to be compared to Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt and everybody that has come before him. That's his comparison. You didn't ask this question. I think I'd rather be Nick Sheridan.
You'd rather be Nick Sheridan.
And I've got a feeling that is going to be the theme early on with Alabama. I'm just guessing that people are going to be like, what is going on with this swarm defense from Kane Womack?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Kalen DeBoer might be really good offense, but this is not the complete team that we remember under Nick Saban, because I think the back end of that, and I could be completely wrong, and you guys correct me, who are quarterbacks that will challenge this inexperienced secondary early?
I don't know that you get there until Georgia. I mean, do you think TJ Finley, the Heltons are pass-happy family, but do you think TJ Finley fits into that system? You've seen TJ Finley play.
No, but what they're going to do is they're going to play their system, and they're going to come in and they're going to throw it around. So I don't know about winning the football game or scaring Alabama, but for 4 quarters, they're going to throw it around because that's their system. And they're gonna let TJ Finley start working the kinks out in a game of their system.
Until they get to Carson Beck, Byron Brown is probably the best quarterback they're going to face.
The dual threat quarterback from South Florida.
Yeah, but I think you worry probably more about Brown's legs. I think it's exactly what you want, though, if you're Kane Womack and you're Kalen DeBoer. I think you want an offense that, physically they can't challenge Alabama. There's a reason Alabama is a massive favorite in this game. But, hey, let those guys get torched a little bit. Let them throw it around. See what you've got.
Well, I think it could get covered up a little bit, though, because I wonder how Western Kentucky can protect T.J. Finley, and we've seen T.J. Finley. This guy is
such a mobile guy.
He's not exactly fleet of foot. So I would imagine Alabama is able to get a ton of pressure on him Saturday.
Pritch Law in the mybookie.ag chat room. Next round's the promo code. Gets you a double bonus on your latest deposit.
That's right.
Your first deposit there. Next round, the promo code mybookie.ag. Pritch Law says Saban's last two teams were not complete. They were better on one side of the ball than they were on the other.
I would agree.
In different times. And there are times, even when Kirby was the coach, you'd get into a shootout like you did against Ole Miss and Hugh Freeze a couple of times, like you did not with Kirby as the DC, but it was a Nick Saban team like you did in 2019 with LSU. Sometimes the offense couldn't score enough points.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it felt like it happened almost once a year under Nick Saban, where they would get in that random game. You brought one up earlier, 2013, when they made the return trip to College Station. They couldn't stop hardly Texas A&M. Texas A&M couldn't stop them either, though.
Yeah,
that Ole Miss game that you mentioned in Oxford. So I mean, you're going to have some of that. I think back to the receivers. I'm not 100% confident on this, but I'm fairly confident. I think Jeremy Bernard leads Alabama in receiving this year. I think people want it to be Ryan Williams. Not saying he doesn't contribute and have a good year. He may. It could be all freshmen.
Yeah, Jeremy Bernard's a name I didn't even mention last night when we were talking to the Selma quarterback club.
Yeah.
You know, I talked about Kendrick Law, Kobe Prentice, Ryan Williams, but Jeremy Bernard is a guy. I mean, he was the third option when you're talking about receivers last year at Washington. There is a reason that Kalen DeBoer really wanted this guy to come from Seattle to Tuscaloosa.
I think he leads Alabama in receiving this year.
That wouldn't surprise me.
It's just not doesn't ride with the level of a 3 guarantee, but it is a guarantee.
Jeff says Wolf Womack gonna get the heat all year. He's gonna be under the gun. Lamb, I believer Pete Golding cost us a natty in 2022.
Pete Golding never gets forgiven, does he?
No.
Nope. I mean, that is the blight of the Nick Saban coaching era, is Pete Golding for a lot of people.
Let's flip the script to Auburn, brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. We'll get cut 6 here. Hugh talking about in-helmet communications. Hemp Hill keeps you in contact with that thermostat all the time. If it's broken, and it's summertime, you need that air conditioning. If it's broken, it's December, you need that heat. They can get out there quickly.
Yeah, any plumbing, heating, cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Okay, here is Hugh Freeze on that in-helmet comms. That's a big talking point coming out of week 0.
Coach, how comfortable are the coaching staff and the players with the new helmet communication? Will it be used a lot this Saturday?
The players seem to be handling it pretty easy. It's probably me more than I think I'm talking into it, and I'm not, because I'm not hitting the right button, or, you know, it's I literally have. I mean, I feel like I don't know. Feel like I'm wearing one of the police belts. You know, there's just stuff everywhere, and you got to hit the right button. So it's taken me some adjusting for sure. The players is pretty easy. I will say unfortunately, we had a little issue with ours in the stadium Saturday, and I sure hope that's not going to be the case. You know, Saturday night. I mean, they quickly got it fixed, but it was 2 plays. But you know, I hope that that's not the case and a reoccurring problem that you might have, and they really couldn't tell me what was wrong with it.
So we talked with Payton Thorne about that in his interview with us earlier. He'll be with us each week at 9:25 on Tuesdays. And I do think there is an advantage early on in this stuff, having an experienced quarterback that you trust to call a play. And that's what Payton said. And he said it to Hugh Freeze's point. He said, it's already happened to us this year. We either get to 15, it gets turned off, I don't have the play, or I never got the play. So they depend on me to call the play. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be times for Jalen Milroe or Payton Thorne or, you know, Connor Wagman or who else is and even worse, there's going to be a time like Saturday night, Riley Leonard either can't hear it or it's malfunctioning, and Marcus Freeman's going to have to depend on him to call a play in a hostile environment, and that's a little bit scary.
They were talking at the game in Ireland. Both sides were talking about it wasn't loud enough for them. And that's a rugby stadium of about 60,000 fans.
If that.
I mean,
neutral crowd.
Now go fully circled SEC stadium with 102 plus.
Yeah, I mean, early on in that Florida State-Georgia Tech game, Haynes King's looking to the sidelines doing this. He's got the hands over the ears, and I'm like, if you're struggling with it there.
Yeah. And you I guess it's impossible to have the inner ears like we wear on the show here.
That was a small stadium too.
That's what I'm saying. If you're struggling with it there, what's it going to be like, for Georgia Tech?
And for Hugh, I saw Rhett Lashley have to look down a couple of times to make sure he was pressing the right button too. I'd almost go like in the UFL, what Skip Holtz and them do. I would do the walkie-talkie because it does look like it is hooked up to a walkie-talkie on the side of them. I'd probably lose that big belt and just go walkie-talkie.
Well, you wonder how many. Do you remember?
Breaker
I don't know. Do you guys remember this early on when, for whatever reason, Les Miles didn't want to wear the actual headset and he wore the little Britney Spears?
yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, you remember Todd Graham always had it.
Yeah, Todd Graham did. Yeah, but Les Miles wore it, and then he realized
in a very big opener at Tiger Stadium. I remember this.
And he realized in SEC stadiums he couldn't hear.
Yeah, because he started doing this.
Yeah, he had his hands over his ears because he couldn't hear what was coming through the earpiece.
He couldn't do it. All right, so that's some of the sound from yesterday around the SEC. Show being brought to you today in part by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. A couple of other things going on in college football. Go ahead.
I am so sorry to interrupt you, but I saw this in the mybookie.ag chat room. When you go to Talladega, you can purchase, you can do this any track, but you can purchase the little headsets where you can hear the in-car communications, right? Yes. Could you, and now you can't do it because people would know the plays, but can you imagine what you could sell that for in an SEC stadium?
We got.
I think you do. You sell it to certain boosters, right?
Yeah, but
Phil Knight used to have it, right?
Yeah, I don't doubt that maybe someday somebody will do that, Brown, to make money. But my biggest concern is, and it was somebody's bold prediction on Guarantee Friday last week. Was it yours? It was one of our viewers that it was going to be somebody. I thought
it was Scott's, maybe.
Maybe it was Forrester. How long until someone is complaining about the thing working on the road, the in-helmet communication working on the road? I'm worried.
I think it's week 1.
I'm actually worried about, I worry about everything. If I'm on the road, how do I know my signal is secure? We got Connor Stallions stealing signs. How do I know I don't have a tech crew that's got it that's hacked in? And
it just doesn't seem like it would be that complicated to have that.
Yeah,
now, that would be the ultimate scandal if it is found that somebody internally is doing that. Yeah. But how easy would that be to do? I mean, ask one of the techies in the back room.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Lunceford and Forrester, give me your mics. Lunceford, is there a way to scramble a signal, a frequency to where
there's a way to do anything, Jim?
Yeah. Okay. Channel. If we'll say Western Kentucky's in Bryant-Denny this week, and their communication is going to be on gigahertz 72345.
Keep going.
Yeah. And is there a way Alabama could hack into that, or is there scrambled that only Western? I mean, how are we secure on this stuff?
Does that exist within the world? Yes. Is that something that just you can hire some GA to do? No.
I mean, Connor Stallions, though, was a former Marine.
I mean, I don't know that even he's going to be able to go quite that far, but, you never know.
Yeah. Because I assume each school is providing their own in-helmet communications, right?
Well, I asked, Steve about that, Steve Shaw, when he was on, is that up to the conference or whatever? And he made it sound like that the schools hire the people. Just like they hire the chain gang and all that, they hire the person that handles all the in-helmet communications, which, again, if I'm on the road, I'm kind of worried about that. Like if I'm Mario Cristobal and I'm going to an SEC stadium, by the way, a fairly important game for the coach on the other sideline, right?
Yeah, big time.
If I'm Mario Cristobal, it kind of scares me to death, to be honest with you.
Steve says, I don't think you can relay the info to defense in time before the play starts. Actually, you can, because you got in-helmet communication.
That's all I got to do is tell them, they're running the sweep.
Yeah. Yeah. Right side. All right. Okay. Trash on the other side. And we keep going on. By the way, Washington did make Will Rogers officially their QB1. No surprise there. I don't know if there are any quarterback battles. Well, can't be any more going on, right? We're to week 1. But Washington does have Will Rogers as their quarterback. So we're good to go for week 1. They open up. It's one of the late night games. LT and I were looking at that. 3 games you get after dark. In the late night window. They're not fabulous, but Washington gets Weber State, sometimes a good FCS school. And then the game you guys jumped on was Wyoming and Arizona State. You really like that one.
I went with, as West Virginia over Penn State. I looked at Wyoming at Arizona State, Lance.
I did too.
Last time I checked mybookie.ag, Wyoming was 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, or they were catching 6.5. I think they win that game outright. I do. I think Wyoming pulls the upset.
All right, so some late night. Washington will be one of those with Will Rogers as the quarterback. When we come back, it is trash time on TNR.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hang out with The Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out The Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Johnson RV Center bringing you part of the show today. NFL rosters completely cut down by 3 o'clock today.
A flood of releases I've been seeing, players being released.
Malik Willis ended up at Green Bay. Juju Smith-Schuster ended up at Kansas City, which likely means Kadarius Toney could end up being cut today from them. So
I did see that Green Bay did cut Anders Carlson, the former Auburn kicker. So that division was tough on the Carlson family. Both of them signed in that division or drafted in that division.
Maybe he ends up going and being as good as his older brother somewhere else.
It worked out for his brother. His brother, pretty good kicker now for the Raiders. Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center. Today's the 27th. That means you've just got a few more days of the month of August to take care of the end of the summer spectacular they have going there, with the hottest floor plans, the best brands, best prices of the season to get you ready for tailgate season. New and pre-owned travel trailers start at $14,995. Fifth wheel starting at $397 a month. Right there at Johnston RV Center, where they've got that RV warranty forever, lifetime warranty on anything new and qualifying used. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Patrick says all of those systems are now digital, like cell phones now are, so you can't listen to them with a traditional analog scanner radio, so you can't get the scanners to sit there and go and tune those in like you used to be able to do with the police comms. Coach Com is based in Auburn, Patrick says, so you could probably get one of those guys for an interview to talk about their systems and encryption.
Yeah, we would not have the first clue what question to ask. Can you talk about your encryption?
I just went with the megahertz 72538.
That's right.
That didn't sound professional?
Not at all.
Yeah.
It will be complained about. Like, I just got this weird feeling. Mario Cristobal brings it up. I got a weird feeling. That after Saturday afternoon's game, Mario Cristobal will say, listen, it's not an excuse. Billy had his team prepared. They were the better team today, but, and then they'll be insert whatever headset situation they have. For most of the third quarter, we did not have our in-helmet communications. You know, we had to go to signaling in. That's something we had barely done in camp because we were so rushed to get this headset communication in. That's on me as the head coach.
Marcus Freeman for me.
You think it'll be Marcus Freeman Saturday night?
Yeah. You know, remember Dan Mullen's rant about, it was during the 2020 season, right, where he came back, if that was 12,000 fans, and then he started ranting about, I hope our governor lifts it up so we can fill up the swamp when so-and-so comes to town.
I do think Las Vegas Sunday night is going to be interesting because Vegas is a big USC town because LA is so close, and you've got those 45-minute flights every 30 minutes. But LSU fans are going to travel.
That's right.
So you wonder what that crowd's going to be like. So I'm just going to kind of negate that. But I do think it comes down to Riley Leonard in College Station or Cam Ward, both first-year quarterbacks in these systems in the swamp.
Yep.
I'm like you. I just wonder how easy the volume control is, because if I'm Cam Ward in the swamp, that's going to be a loud environment. I mean, that's a fired up, they're trying to – that's going to be a loud environment. If I'm at Wake – that's too loud, right? We've got to get it dialed in somehow.
James Franklin can whine a little bit.
Oh, that's
him
a
in
good
Morgantown
one.
at 11.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
We were out there. We could not hear our plays.
In Big Ten stadiums, we play up to a certain standard and blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. It'll be super condescending if it's coming from James Franklin.
All right, let's go to Trash Time. It's brought to you every day by Mortgage Right. It always starts when Rockstar, and sometimes Tyler, hits that very big button right there.
Sandra, how far has this family come?
We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
If you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. Speaking of veterans, veteran founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home, your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. Woman made employees at a Louis Vuitton outlet in China count out 600,000. What is their denomination or their
yen? Ruble.
Yeah.
No,
it's
Russian.
Yuan?
Yeah.
Yuan. Which is equivalent to $110,000 US dollars in cash before leaving empty-handed as part of a revenge plot over a previous unpleasant encounter. Now, according to a Chinese news outlet, the woman's initial encounter with the staff took place in June at the Louis Vuitton outlet in the Starlight Place shopping center in southwestern China. Woman said she went to the outlet to shop for clothes, but had been treated dismissively by the staff there. Now, apart from ignoring her request for a drink, they also directed her to items from previous seasons instead of showing her the latest arrivals. She also accused the staff of rolling their eyes at her and appearing impatient when she asked to see some of the dresses. Woman added that she was ignored when she tried to call Louis' headquarters about the situation after leaving the store.
You know what this is?
Oh, boy. What, Jim? What is it?
This is a Chinese remake of Pretty Woman. That's what's happened here.
Oh, it is, right.
Yeah.
They need Chinese Richard Gere to go in there and buy the store, don't they?
Now, the woman's story has gotten praise from different reports out there. Quote, "This ending is so delightful. I've always wondered why these shop assistants are so arrogant. They sell luxury goods, but it does not mean they are luxury goods themselves." I have seen this in some of these settings where you have employees that work high-end places, and just because they work high-end places, I think they're high-end.
They think they're high-end,
right?
They think
they're high-end.
Yeah. I agree 100% with you. I've never been in a Louis Vuitton store. I have no idea.
Me either.
I mean, is it just purses? Is that all they have in there?
No, they've got some other goods,
Clothing?
but it's mostly the yeah.
I just wait till Dion brings it to me because he always
Brings you the
brings it.
Louis?
Yeah, the only Louis you can get here is at Saks. But I think it's one of the few Louis vendors around here. Like, I think people travel from all over.
Yeah, but why do you need the Louis when you have the pants store? Get ready for
I agree.
I would not be comfortable
Hey,
with
you
Louis.
think this headline is one that's ever been scribbled out before? Bald eagle believed to be injured in Missouri was, quote, just too fat to fly, according to wildlife officials.
Familiar? Right here. This is my rendition, my courtroom drawing of this eagle too fat to fly.
A bald eagle, initially thought to be injured because it couldn't fly, was found to be healthy after wildlife officials determined the bird was, quote, just too fat after feasting on roadkill. Now,
It is a fat bird.
a bald eagle.
Hey, get ready. You're going to have such a great season, Forster and Taylor. By the time they get to Thanksgiving weekend, that's going to be spirit. You're going to be like,
that doesn't even, it doesn't even look real.
It really does not look real.
Now, the bald eagle was found along the boundary of Wilson's Creek National Battlefield, according to officials at the park. After the Missouri Department of Conservation captured the bird for rehabilitation, wildlife officials determined the bird was fine when x-rays showed the real reason why the eagle couldn't fly. Now, quote, the bird originally reported to be injured was found to be healthy, but it had eaten a raccoon.
Oh, wow. That'll get you.
In other words, it was too fat to fly.
It
Boy, that
couldn't
can't be comfortable in the stomach. Look how he's squatting.
I know.
Yeah.
It can't digest the raccoon. What's the problem?
The raccoon paw was stuck in its stomach.
Oh, I see. Now that's what we're looking at.
So
the paw.
its stomach was all distended.
Yeah. Agency released a photo that shows what appears to be a raccoon paw in the bird's stomach, and the second photo showing the predator's distended stomach. While fish comprise about 70 to 90% of an eagle's diet, bird will feed on, quote, what is most available.
Yeah. Can you go back to the photo of the cop holding the bird?
He looks not the police officer, but the bird looks drunk as heck.
Yes,
Yeah, he's had a bender.
You remember the?
That's a retired eagle, isn't it?
They've got him
he served our
tranquilized.
country well, but at 7, we're putting him in a. What do you put birds in an atrium? What is it?
Aviary?
Yeah, something like that.
They got him drugged up here so that the officer can hold him. He's high as a kite right there.
Sorry, guys, I was stressed. I had to eat.
Now go back to the X-rays.
Is the officer treating him like a puppet?
The great commercial now is when the duck walks in and goes, Aflac. Because he's got to have some gap coverage.
Could you imagine having to pass a raccoon paw?
It'd be tough, man. He's got some claws.
My Lord, that's going to hurt coming out.
1 in a million shot.
Yeah, 1 in a million.
Now, when police arrived at the residence, evidence of the ravioli attack was splattered on the victim. I love ravioli.
I do like ravioli. I have not had it in quite a while.
I don't like it out of the can, but I like it at a restaurant.
I liked it out of the can when I was a kid. I could eat Chip Boyardee.
I'll tell you
ravioli.
what's pretty good, though. They've got the packaging, like the clear packaging, and you throw it in for like 7 minutes.
Yeah, you just cut a
That's
little
pretty
slit in
good
the top?
pasta.
Yeah.
Well, no, you just dump it in.
Oh, yeah?
And boil it, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying now. It's not microwave.
I rediscovered our old friends near us.
Okay.
And I've been on a kick lately of swinging by there and trying.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Let me see.
Has it been good?
It's been fantastic.
That's who I thought you were writing. I have not eaten at that place in quite a long time.
It's been 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
They love us in there.
21-year-old, angry that her sister would not share grub she brought home, was arrested on a ravioli battery charge. Now, cops say that Nakia Davis, quote, got mad at her blood-related sister after the victim did not allow the defendant to have any of the food she delivered to the pair's Florida home.
Why do we need blood-related sister in that story?
Angry sister.
Specified.
Cops alleged retaliated by throwing a plate of raviolis at her sibling. When the officer arrived at the Clearwater property, the victim, quote, still had sauce from the raviolis on her. Seen above, Davis reportedly admitted to the ravioli tossing, which was witnessed by the victim's boyfriend. Charged with domestic battery, a misdemeanor. Davis spent a night in jail before being released on Friday afternoon. The arrest report does not indicate what kind of ravioli was used in the alleged attack or whether the pasta was coated in tomato, pesto, cheese, or butter-based topping. I just like a 4-cheese ravioli.
Yeah, I can handle that. I don't mind a ravioli bolognese. I don't mind that.
Bolognese.
Thank you, Tyler. Bolognese. I did not know Tyler was Italian.
Sometimes
my man Tyler delivers it. So he knows.
That's true. But it was weird when you brought up ravioli. I could immediately smell and taste ravioli.
Oh,
yeah. Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, but did you do it? Do you taste it? The metallic taste out of the Chef Boyardee can?
No, it's better than that.
Yeah, I can taste it.
I usually go baked ziti, but I do like a good
I like
ravioli.
baked ziti. I like almost anything Italian.
Me too.
Deep Purple has concert dates booked out through 2026, and that's good news for fans of the legendary rock band.
Smoke on the Water?
Good news that is, unless they shelled out a few extra bucks for the band's The Long Goodbye Tour. That came all the way back in 2017, and now we know why The Long Goodbye was not a goodbye at all.
Why?
According to Deep Purple singer Ian Gillan, quote, that was a joke, actually, because it was the promoters. This is a recent interview with SiriusXM. Someone said, we've got to sell more, and it's the good old Stand By the Farewell Tour. So I said, okay, we'll call it a goodbye tour, but let's call it the Long Goodbye, and let's make the emphasis on the word long, so it's kind of an enigmatic phrase. Maybe long wasn't emphasized enough because Gillan said in the interview, the band has, quote, no intention to stop. He said, we're already booked to the end of 2026. They first began performing in 1968.
Wow. But haven't we always joked about this, Brownie?
What?
That, it's their final tour, their long tour. We thought it was a joke all the time.
Is it Motley Crue or Kiss that we make the joke about the most?
I saw Motley Crue's final
retired
one.
multiple times.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Motley Crue's last concert 3 times, and I still think they're out there.
I mean, I can't take shots. I'm a huge George Strait fan, and he did the Cowboy Rides Away tour, and he's back on tour now.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't. When you said you went and saw Stapleton open for George Strait at Columbus, I was like, I thought I watched.
No.
I watched a big weekend where he played several dates at Cowboy Stadium in his final concert.
He did Houston and Dallas, and that was the Cowboy Rides Away tour, and it was the last time he was ever going to tour, and people shelled out. I mean, they packed out Jerry World like 5 straight nights to see him. I'm over-exaggerating a bit, but I do think it was back-to-back sellouts. That's like 90,000 people.
It was at least 2 nights, I know.
Yeah, 2 nights in Dallas, and he did it in Houston, too, at Reliant, and now he's back making money.
Yeah, but see, you never
Cowboy can ride away and ride back.
That's true.
Yeah, you never get the Rolling Stones ever pull this, though, right? The Rolling Stones have never said, this is our final tour. Though, eventually, humans... The body is going to tell us it's their final tour.
I don't think it's just money either. I think they get out and they miss it more than they think they're going to. Now, the money's good to tour, obviously.
So, like coaching that...
Yeah.
I'm never going to coach
like Jimbo
again.
Fisher yesterday.
Yeah, but
Jimbo Fisher yesterday said, and I don't know where the interview was. I can't credit it. But Jimbo Fisher said, I can only hunt and fish so much.
Oh, so he's thinking about already...
he says he wants back in.
2 weeks ago, he was never getting back in.
He says he's watching film already. God, I hope he coaches the Rams.
Hey, it is buying season. That will never happen. Our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Stan Kroenke couldn't understand what he's saying. Veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. Before you take the next steps on a home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you qualify for. You can get more information by going to their website, mortgageright.com, or call 205-900-7200.
Okay, SEC team you think Jimbo Fisher coaches if he ever coaches in the SEC again?
I mean, I can eliminate a bunch of them. I mean, it's easy to go low-hanging fruit and say Vandy or State or somebody
Mississippi
like
State
that.
was the first one that popped.
Yeah,
me
me too. I mean, I hate to say that about Jeff Lebby. The guy's never even coached a game.
I know,
yet.
and I hope Lebby is successful at Mississippi State. But you could just see him struggle for 2 years, and Jimbo's agent, Jimmy Sexton, floats it out there and says, "Hey, if you Jimbo, if you want Jimbo."
Dave says South Carolina in the mybookie.ag chat room. That's one that could be open this year.
Be a fit.
Yeah.
A lot of pressure.
I mean, I don't know what's appealing about Jimbo though. What's appealing about him?
He's got 1 national championship.
That was quite a while ago.
It was.
Yeah,
11 years.
Yeah.
I would have no desire.
I mean, I look at him. If I'm a South Carolina, I look at him and say, you just had a job with every resource possible, and you couldn't win.
I know Seth jokes Caleb may need an analyst soon. Do you think this would have been something that maybe Nick Saban would have at least considered?
Well, before people say, not with their history, keep in mind, Nick Saban and Lance Thompson didn't have a great history after Lance left Alabama, and Lance Thompson came back.
Oh.
I mean, Nick Saban would bury the hatchet if he thought it was going to help him win football games.
That's exactly right.
And Jimbo, now, would Jimbo have buried the hatchet and making that kind of money come back as an analyst? I don't know, Lance.
I don't know if Jimbo would be an analyst for somebody.
It's a lot of money.
Bobby says South Carolina wouldn't hire Jimbo.
I don't know who would. Again, what's appealing? If I'm a South Carolina, I'm like, you're not going to have the resources here that you had at A&M, and you couldn't win.
Yeah. All right, one more segment to go. Champy'sChicken.com bringing you this hour. Champy'sChicken.com, an unbelievable chance to get by there and try some wonderful Southern cooking. Champy's Chicken is cooked, brined overnight, and cooked to order. That's what Sterling does. It's his commitment to you. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and so much more. Hand-cut chicken fingers, the wonderful sides, and just great stuff. Right there on Highway 119, it's champy'schicken.com. One more thing quickly here before we go to break. Truck race Daytona this weekend. We can't show the video, but I showed the video to Brownie. It's very uncomfortable. Guy wins the race, climbs up on the hood of his truck, LT, and starts celebrating. And he's pumping his fist so hard that he dislocates his right shoulder after the win. And he comes down he's in tremendous pain. I've never dislocated a shoulder. He's in tremendous pain. Before he can go to victory lane, his pit crew has to pop his shoulder back in. Brown kept looking away from it.
I couldn't watch it.
Yeah. But the arm just, he does 3 pumps, and on the third one, it just goes,
How does that even happen? How old was the dude?
He's a young guy,
he looked
right?
to be a younger guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's an old football injury or what.
I knew a guy whose shoulder would pop out occasionally, and he would have to he was playing softball. He'd have to take a softball, put it in his armpit, and he could pop it back in that way.
Wow.
How often does that sound?
I remember Martin Riggs and Lethal Weapon would have to hit his on the wall.
Yeah. Not in Daytona, everyone is saying. It was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
Yeah. Good chance there for Gray's Tree Service.
That's right.
Save that one. Save that one for tomorrow. More mistakes. All right. We're back in a moment on TNR.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at ryanbrownlive.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Hey, you. School's coming back. Time to gear up. And at New Balance Birmingham, we know what's up. Before hitting the books, check out the looks. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the Fanatec GT World Challenge America. September 6th through the 8th. It's a high-octane weekend you won't want to miss. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, Porsche, and Ferrari battling it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, kids zone, and don't forget to bring your dog for bark at the park on Saturday. The Fanatec GT World Challenge America, September 6th through the 8th. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Bright Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Back with you on the next round. I tell you this, so excited for this football weekend. I'm not going to a game this weekend. I'm going to watch from at home, ready for Thursday night. Brown keeps downplaying North Carolina and Minnesota. He's not in the room. Oh, he's back now, so I can call him out.
Yeah, no, call me out. Do you expect that? I'm just saying, had I not seen Georgia Tech and Florida State, I'd be so fired up for that. And I'll watch it. Trust me, I'm going to watch every play. I just said last night, I think I'm more interested in North Dakota State and Colorado than I am North Carolina and Minnesota.
Now, truthfully, is this like a Cheez-It Bowl matchup? Probably.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
They would be lucky to go to the Cheez-It Bowl, probably.
Or the Pop-Tart Bowl. Absolutely. But that's a good game. The drama will be North Dakota State and Colorado at 7 o'clock on ESPN. But if Colorado starts boat racing them,
I think what I actually said last night is the best overall game might be Jacksonville State and Coastal Carolina.
Yeah, it could be.
I think that's going to be a really good game over in Jacksonville Thursday night.
UAB's at home to Alcorn on Thursday night. The two SEC games are what they are.
Yeah, you had
Jody Wright starting at Murray State. It's his first game as a head coach.
They're probably going to get shellacked. I hate that for Jody. Jody's a friend of ours.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, was on staff in Tuscaloosa for quite a while.
Yeah, but he's taking over a Murray State team that's down a bit, and he's having to rebuild that and hope they make a good showing in Columbia.
Now, the opposing coach was having to beg people to come to the game, so I don't know how rowdy that crowd's going to be.
Did you see the mixed signals that Missouri was sending, though?
No.
The same day that Eli was out there, we're top 11 team. Either we're a good program or we're not a good program. You got to come support this team. We're number 11 in the country, blah, 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 blah. Later that afternoon, since it's a Thursday game, the University of Missouri sends out, parking will open at 4 o'clock. Please do not line up early or show up early because of student parking, blah, 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 blah. Well, first of all, you're in the SEC. It's a game day in the SEC. Give the students off. Let's go ahead and clear out those parking lots so we can get there and tailgate. I got the kick time starting at 7.
So parking's open 3 hours before the game.
I can't even line up to park until 3 hours before the game?
Yeah.
And you want me to come?
No,
come
that
on.
is stupid. You're right. That is mixed signals. That's like if you talk to Auburn. I've talked to Auburn fans who went out to the Cal game, and they swear to me that the lots didn't open until 2 hours before kick.
Oh, I can believe that at Cal.
Yeah,
now, Missouri, if you really want to have the look, the atmosphere of being a true football program, you got to be able to take care of the small little details like this.
Rusty's right. Game day lasts all day. Come on. It's one class. I know Missouri's a high academic institution.
Sure,
you guys really wanted to be in the Big Ten. Yep. I know you did. Don't lie to me. You really wanted to be in the Big Ten. You came to the SEC. Your academics are not that important.
Yeah.
Take the day off Thursday.
One freaking day. It's
take
one
the
day
day off on Thursday. We were all students in college at one point. When you were in college, LT, when did the weekend start for you? Thursday night.
Oh, it was 24/7 for most people. Yeah, but Thursday night.
Thursday night. Cancel class. It's the opening of football season. Cancel class.
No, you're right. If I can only line up or get in a lot 3 hours before kick, what kind of tailgating scene is there going to be? That's why nobody's coming to the game. You're the one that scheduled Murray State, and you're the one that's agreed to play on a Thursday night.
That's right.
You didn't have to do either one of those if Eli Drinkwitz supposed to complain about the crowd.
Yeah. By the way, at Alabama or Auburn, they usually don't play on Thursday nights. You know why? Because there are a lot of people who are going to come to that game. You got some parking issues on a Thursday if you're doing it. If they did play on a Thursday night, you know what they'd do? They'd cancel classes and clear out those parking lots because that's what good football ops do.
Local businesses just take such a hit if you play a Thursday night game.
They really do.
You can't have the full effect.
I can only remember Alabama doing it once, and it was hurricane related.
Yeah,
they played
Southern Miss.
Southern Miss after the Iron Bowl on a Thursday night.
And it was in Birmingham. And I remember I went to Auburn for Kentucky Auburn. This is probably 1992, 93.
Auburn's done it. They played Wyoming. That Wyoming game was a Thursday night. They played at Starkville on a Thursday night as well. It was not the 3-0 game.
Played Virginia on a Thursday night.
Yeah, so Auburn's done it a few times.
Yeah.
West Virginia game was a Saturday, but they played Thursday night.
No, I said the Virginia game.
Yeah, but no, Thursday night in Morgantown.
Yeah.
Thursday night in Manhattan as well.
Wasn't that Tommy Tuberville's last game? Did he get fired in season?
I don't think he coached the Iron Bowl, but that was the game where he turned the sideline heaters off. He said the team didn't earn the heaters.
Yeah, because I remember that me and Ian were doing a show we were at the Wharf this past weekend.
Yeah.
And Gulf Shores, we were doing it from there the day after.
Yeah. So, I mean, Auburn has done it a handful of times, but very rarely at home.
I watched the Wyoming game, if I'm correct.
Yeah, Rudy Johnson.
From a sports bar in Pasadena, because I was out. That was the same weekend.
the same
Alabama
year?
was at UCLA, I believe.
Holy crap, it's been that long?
Yeah. I think that was 99.
Yeah.
Or 2000.
It's contradictory, Lance, because I want good Thursday night football to watch. We don't really get it in the college game anymore, but I do want it to watch, but I don't want primo teams having to do it.
No, I mean, I think the ACC and the Big 12 should pick up the slack here.
I agree. I mean, I've looked ahead at the Thursday schedule. It's not good again this year.
It is not good.
The college teams have said we're just not going to do it if the NFL is going to.
Friday night's better than Thursday night.
Yeah, Friday night's become a better college night than Thursday night.
Especially with that Big Ten built-in game there. Okay, one more big thing here, and I agree with everyone in the mybookie.ag chat room. Promo code next round, double your first-time deposit.
That's great. Yeah, your initial deposit, they're going to double it for you when you use promo code next round at mybookie.ag.
And, Michael, I agree with you. I like Virginia Tech playing on Thursday nights back in the day. Huge advantage. It was so good.
Hey, I got a little breaking news if it's a big deal or not. Yeah. Anders Carlson has been released from the Packers.
Yeah.
So he is he's sent packing from that division there.
I see what you did there.
He was a Packer.
Yes.
Missed 13 kicks last year. So.
13?
Yeah.
Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedic, they're your provider. 205-512-3885, 512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Your tweaks, your pulls, your pains, your breaks, they take care of that. They diagnose it, they treat you, and then the best part is they rehab it. What are you laughing at?
I think Lance responded to me when I brought up the Anders Carlson thing earlier.
Did
you not respond to
I
me?
wasn't going to say it.
Okay.
I wasn't going to say it.
I think you commented on it.
No.
I swear I think you did. We were talking about Daniel kicking in the Raiders for the Raiders. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I was in here.
No, 100% you were in here.
It was mid-segment, but I mean, we do.
I just thought
it's the beauty of the three-person show is we have a lot of things we can look ahead.
Yeah.
Everyone was amazed last night.
I love it, Andrew.
knowledge.
LT behind the stream.
Yeah. Just a little bit. The funny thing was, I thought you responded to it. That's the only reason I was laughing, because I thought
we
you
can go
actually
back and look at the
commented
tape. I don't remember. I might have just been like, yeah, Brown.
For tomorrow's show, look at the tape first. Jasper, Alabaster, Fultondale, all around the Birmingham metro area. Orthopedic care is better together. Find your provider today. Again, 205-512-3885, 205-512-3885, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Let history show. I didn't bring it up.
No, I was not going to bring it up.
I appreciate you bringing it up. This happens all the time.
We do it all the time.
Yeah.
I've done it too. Yeah. I just thought you actually responded to it. That's what I was.
Somebody said I did. I don't know.
Not that you didn't hear it, but I swear I thought you responded to it.
Because here's what happens to me: if I ask you guys and you're talking, I'm either looking ahead at what commercial we have to do or what we're going to talk about next, or I'm signaling Tyler or Rockstar a number of cut that we're going to do, or I'm reading what could be breaking news.
Yeah.
And one thing I can't do is multitask. So if I'm reading, I don't hear what you're saying. So it happens to me, I'm sure,
we've all
1,000
done it.
times.
Yes, we've all done it. I was just laughing because I thought he responded to it.
That's why we got our great friends at Grace Tree Service who clean up the dead wood for us. Give them another one, LT, right here. Grace Tree Service right here. These folks, anytime we mess up, you're going to see these guys right here.
Yeah, I don't know if you can just look at a tree and be like, hey, I need to get that tree extracted.
I've got one.
Hey, if you've got some leaning, our friend Mick Gillespie had to get some extracted from his yard down in Mobile, the Mobile area. I got 4 extracted from our friends at Gray's. Just a couple of months ago, Gray's maintains a fleet of specialized cranes and lifts to get the job done right, prevent damage to your home. You've probably seen them rolling around town. Family owned and operated for 25 years right here in Birmingham. Experts in high-risk tree removals, pruning, soil health treatment to strengthen your trees and plants. Call today, 205-281-6100. Scan that QR code that Scotty put out there, or just visit graystree.com.
They're having fun in the chat room with you, LT. Josh says, we've landed on the moon. Lunceford says, we won the war. Forster says, R.I.P. JFK.
Y'all come do 3 hours, see how easy it is.
I want to see if I responded.
I'll try to find it. I can't remember what part of the show I brought it up in, though.
It's like I've blacked out on the show.
All right. Is parity good for college football? Quick answer.
Yes.
It is?
Yes. I hate top-heavy sports.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to have more of it than ever this year. This feels like the most parity-filled year of all time.
I had that little comment in my back pocket last night afterwards at the Selma Quarterback Club when the guy walked up and he says, I didn't get to ask my question, but do you guys think the NIL and the portal is killing college football?
Well, I don't know if it's killing it.
And I said, most watched season in college football history on television last year.
Now, it may be killing dominance in it, Lance. It may be tougher to it's going to be near impossible to do what Nick Saban has just done, obviously. But I think the system is not going to be set up for you to do that.
Yeah, and Ken, you look around college football. I mean, when we had a 14 playoff, going into it, you could almost name 3 teams every single year.
Yeah, 29 out of the 40 bids. You had 40 bids in the history of the college football playoff. 29 of those 40 were made up of these teams: Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, and Michigan.
Yeah.
They had 29 of the 40 bids. Only 11 other bids.
So there you go.
There.
I'm surprised you have to include Michigan. I mean, they only went 3 times, didn't they, to the playoffs?
3 in a row, but
3 in a row.
last 3.
But to the ones you mentioned, Ohio State, Oklahoma, Alabama, Clemson, and Georgia dominated the playoffs.
So 26 of them, Brownie, to your point, was Alabama, Clemson, Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Georgia.
Yeah, I mean, they dominated.
And
really,
take a little bit of Georgia out.
With the expansion to 12, you obviously get more parity, because if we were playing a 4-team this year, would you guys not really feel good about saying Georgia, Ohio State, Oregon, and then who's that 4th team?
Yeah, that's what I would
think
go with.
what most people would.
Yeah. What's funny is Alabama, you think they're in the playoffs?
I do.
Clemson?
I do.
Ohio State?
I do.
Georgia?
I do.
Oklahoma?
I don't. Not
Michigan?
this year. I think they're borderline.
We've expanded, but these 6 that have eaten up all the bids.
Yeah, a lot. The same 4
only
of
about
the 6.
Only about 60% of them are going to make it. Crazy. Parity. Welcome, college football. Glad to see you. All right. When we come back tomorrow, we'll have some sneaky good matchups for you. We'll have a lot more from on campus around the SEC, and we'll get you ready for football. Thanks for being with us. Bama and Bourbon dropping later today. Aaron Suttles is in the house, so episode 1, season 4 of Bama and Bourbon later today. Until next time, God bless you. God bless America.